welcome everyone to Gupton Stadium, where the Lions pay a visit to crosstown rival the Rouse Raiders in the shadow of Vista Ridge High School. And we'll bring you some updates on scores in the area a little bit later. First, I want to shout out our sponsors. The gold sponsors include Bear Electric LLC and Mercy Veterinary Hospital. The silver sponsors are Bill Miller's Barbecue, RDZ Roofing, and Raising Canes. Our bronze sponsors are Golden Chick, Toyota of Cedar Park, TSO of Cedar Park, Whitestone Fine Jewelry, Sisk Rob Incorporated, and JT Reisdorf at State Farm. Our Lion Pride sponsors are A-Plus Septic Cleaning and Repairs, Grissom Insurance Group, and Black Rock Coffee. The Roll Pride sponsors are MLD Services, Modern Shade, and Milo Aquatics. We also want to thank Quality Moving and Storage, digdwell.com, Thrifty Goat Graphics, Learn Lee 123, Cedar Park Law, Wyndham Roofing, Pigpen Cycles, Baldy's Jeep Shop, Walks It To You, Brooklyn Heights Pizzeria, Guaco Taco, Lucky Rabbit, and Community Blessing Outreach at Leander High School. And they will be the host of our upcoming podcast next week. It'll be the final podcast of the regular season. It's Trunk or Treat. It's become an annual tradition as the broadcast has become an annual tradition within an already annual tradition, which is Trunk or Treat. And as they set up candy and all the kids in the community can come and go from trunk to trunk and trick or treat. And we'll bring you some interviews with Coach Price and probably one or two of his coaching staff as well as one or two players. It's always a lot of fun. You get to see a lot of cool costumes, and so we hope you will join us on Wednesday at 6:30 here on SHN Sports. So we're here for a pregame. We actually I want to mention the crew tonight. Joining me on the mic is going to be Frank Rodriguez, and we'll have Ben Alanese join in here and there for some score updates. Juan Alanese on the production. We have Peter Casimir on the camera deck, and we have an addition to our crew this week. Handling a field camera will be Nick Varell, one of the Lion parents, and we really appreciate all the help that we can get. He's got some experience with the sub-varsity games, and so we're going to use him this evening. He's going to kind of follow the line of scrimmage on the sideline, and so we'll try to bring you all of the cool action down on the field. So we'll do our best to make sure we don't miss anything. Switching between cameras sometimes can be difficult because we don't have a full-blown monitor and studio setup. So we're kind of guessing on what Nick will be videoing based on where we find him on the field. And currently I don't see him, but I would presume he's going to move to the Leander side, so we will find him here shortly. It looks like he's already on the field there at the 45 across the field. Go on ahead and flip over to camera 2 and see what we got there. So he's got the run-through. Let's leave it there as we talk about pregame. I will mention that we don't have a crowd mic, but we will have the crowd mic within the broadcast booth here to pick up the PA and hopefully the anthem and maybe the bands. We can always turn the volume up, but it does affect the broadcast overall. Frank, here we are coming off a loss last week, probably unexpected against Lake Belton. Lake Belton, a pretty good team. What are your thoughts on that game?
I mean, that game we just gave up 340 yards rushing on that game.
Yeah, that'll hurt you.
56 yards passing, so that was pretty good. But 340 yards, that's a lot.
That is a lot of yards.
That's 2 games for most teams.
Right, and we need to, and I'm sure that was communicated by Coach Lopez to his defensive crew. You see the Lions are out on the field in the corner of the end zone as they take a knee to say a prayer pre-game.
But definitely today's a must-win game with the way playoffs are shaping up.
Yeah, and we will hear momentarily. Looks like we're going to have the anthem, but I'm not really sure. We'll go on ahead and turn up the mic here and see if we can pick up the PA. And that is what we're going to have. So we'll be right back. Stay with us.
Navy JROTC, Color Guard Commander and Flag Bearer of the American Flag, Cadet Chief Hudson. American Flag Guard Petty Officer Kepler. Flag bearer of the Texas flag, Seaman Palacio. Texas Flag Guard, Cadet Chief Hanson. Instructors are Lieutenant Colonel Chris Ross and Senior Chief Del Real. We now honor our country with the singing of the national anthem by Kinsley Keene and Isaiah Barahuala, joined by the Rouse High School ASL 3 and 4 students.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Welcome back to the broadcast, and we will be bringing you all the action here tonight. It's about 3 minutes to kickoff. They're going to have to do the coin toss, and we'll go on ahead and take a look at the local area, the district and local area games that are this week. You had it right on that first that one. There we go. So this week's games, Vista Ridge really put a beating on Manor last night by a score of 31-14. That happened to be on the local network. It's either KBVO or CW. I think it's it's KBVO. And then Cedar Park takes on Lake Belton, who the Lions had lost to just last Friday. So, root for either team in that one, because the Lions get Cedar Park next week, and so they'll want to get a win over there. So let's hope Cedar Park actually wins that game. Hutto takes on Vandegrift. That should be a pretty good game. Chaparral will travel to Eastview, and Georgetown will travel to AC Bible to take on the Glen Grizzlies. And so there's a lot of chaos that can result from this week's game as well. And I forgot Liberty Hill, number 7 in state, is taking on McCallum. That should be an easy night for the Panthers of Liberty Hill. And it looks like the captains are coming out on the field. We'll give you the standings here momentarily. For Rouse, we've got Jacob Kramer, number 8. We've got number 95, Brandon Eberwine, and number 84 is Mason Reiger. And I didn't get that fourth Raider. That's number 1, Adrian Agbasoga. And for the Lions, we have did you get those numbers, Frank? We got looks like number 3, Logan Mitchell. The Lions quarterback is one of those 4.
Yeah, we got number 4.
Number 4 is Nick Parsons.
We got number 1, Zane Wooldridge.
And
89.
And number 89 is Nick Kell, a senior defensive lineman. The Lions have chosen to receive, And I didn't see if they won the toss or if Rouse won the toss and deferred. It doesn't matter. We'll start off with the football. If you're the Lion faithful, we'll see if Rouse is willing to kick it deep. It looks like Zane Wooldridge seems to be in good health as he joins the team. He missed a majority of the second half last Friday, and we really don't know why. And you know, I didn't want to harass Coach during the week about things like that. So we'll just hope that all is well for him and that he performs very well tonight. Kicking off for the Rouse Raiders is going to be number 27, Connor Lyons.
Yeah, it's definitely good to see him in pads tonight.
So they'll be heading from the right to left here. Got a nice angle there on the field from our field camera. He's still having a little bit of trouble getting that thing straightened out. We'll get back to him here momentarily. Back deep to receive the kick, we have Wooldridge, and it looks like potentially Mason Montgomery. Yeah, and it is Mason Montgomery here on the near or Rouse side of the stadium. If you're just listening, Rouse is kicking off from the south. And that kick's going to go to Wooldridge at around the 11. He's going to carry it up to the 20, straight up the middle of the field. He jumps over a tackler and lunges to the 30-yard line. Looks like that tackler's for the Rouse Raiders is going to be number 6, Danny Myers. And so the Lions will have it 1st and 10 with pretty good field position. You can't really ask for much better than that. A touchback is to the 25. But Wooldridge is dangerous, and it looks like Rouse isn't that worried about him as they had pretty good kick coverage there on that particular play. So Camarion Gordon, the running back, beside Mitchell, and they're going to hand to Gordon. He's going to carry for about 4, maybe 5 yards. They're going to give him 5 before he's stacked up. Leading the charge there defensively for Rouse is going to be number 44, Neil Barton. So it'll be 2nd down and 5 for the Lions as they open this first possession with a nice gain. Gordon, the running back, to the right of Mitchell. He has 2 receivers on the top of the formation. They're going to hand to Gordon going that top of the formation. He's going to pick up about 3 yards to the 38, and he'll be tackled pretty immediately after that 3-yard gain by number 9, Jacob Dotson. So it'll be 3rd and short, 2 yards to be exact. The Lions need the 40, and they're currently at the 38. And this is a big play here early for the Lions. You want them to have as much confidence as possible in this game. Rouse probably trying to pick themselves up after a tough loss to Georgetown last week. Ball's on the ground, and the center able to turn around and get it. It'll be 4th down. That's Casimir on the football, but loss of 2 yards is going to make it 4th and 4, and the Lions will bring the punting unit out, and that's not really how you wanted to start. It looked like they had a couple of good gains, 3rd and short, and a little bit of a miscommunication. I didn't really see what happened, but it's potential that Casimir thought Mitchell was going to be under center, or maybe it hit his towel or something as he snapped it, but it didn't get back to Mitchell. He was able to turn around and get on top of it. Rene Rodriguez to punt for Leander. Back deep to receive for Rouse is going to be number 4, Leland Smith, senior wide receiver. Rodriguez had some pressure, but he gets off a punt with a nice line roll inside the 30. It's going to go all the way down to the 19-yard line where it'll be down by Calvin Kessler there. And so Rene Rodriguez does his job and flips the field. Now the defense got to get out there and get a stop.
Yeah, it was good to get a good stop right here because last game they only put up 130 yards rushing and 77 yards passing. So
the Raiders?
The Raiders.
Okay.
So they won the game from the defense, the turnovers near their goal line. So it's going to be good to see Leander buck up right here and get a stop right here and get the ball back.
So the quarterback is going to be, is that a 7 or a 1? That is a 1. And he'll fake the handoff. He's got pressure. He tries to spin out of it, and he does. And he throws deep. He's got a receiver wide open, and that is a touchdown for the Raiders. No penalty flags down, and Leland Smith, the cornerback, kind of dropped off after the pressure on the starting the defense. The cornerback dropped off after the defense appeared to have a sack on Adrian Agbasoga, but he was able to work his way out of the hold of the defender and had a man wide open in Smith for an early score for the Rouse Raiders. So we're only about 2 minutes and 21 seconds into the game, and Rouse has got their first score. It is 6-0 point after attempt coming up for the Raiders. The kicker out to attempt the point after is Connor Lyons, number 27.
Yeah, it was just a blown coverage right there. He was open by a mile.
They thought he was sacked. The point after is good, and you know, if you're looking back into the backfield, you would have thought that too, more than likely. And in some instances, the referees sometimes blow that whistle pretty quickly if they think that the quarterback could be held up and hit unnecessarily, but that wasn't the case. And you got to stay with your man until you hear that whistle. And how many times did you hear growing up, play through the whistle, up to the whistle?
Every single play.
Yeah. So the Lions, that Rouse kind of rests on their laurels a little bit, and the Lions will come out in an empty set for Logan Mitchell. They have 3 receivers at the top of the formation. He's going to keep it straight ahead. He picks up about 5-7 yards. They're going to give him up to the 32, so make it 7. 2nd and 3 for the Lions. And I like that offensive style. I mean, the quarterback is if that can run like Logan Mitchell is, and as powerful as he is, it's a weapon.
And that's what we were missing last game. He only had 10 yards off 7 carries last game. Right now, he almost got all 10 yards right now.
In one play.
Yeah. So that's what we've been missing is number 3 in his legs.
So 2nd and 3, they're going to hand to Hargrave coming across to the top of the formation. He'll pick up the first down and carry it up to the 39 for the Lions. First down of the game, and he'll be tackled. Well, I was giving credit to the quarterback to be Agbasoga, but he just made that tackle. Their quarterback is actually London Morgan, number 1. I apologize for the miscrediting in that touchdown pass, but it won't make our highlight reel anyway, so I'm not that worried about that one.
You won't hear nothing from Leander fan, I'm sure about that.
So the Lions will break the huddle, run up to the line of scrimmage, 1st and 10 from the 39. They got a tight formation. They're going to hand to the wingback, and that's Wooldridge. He breaks the tackle 45 over midfield to about the 47. Nice, about a 13, 14-yard gain for Zane Wooldridge and a first down for the Lions. That's 2 first downs in 2 consecutive plays for Leander.
And that's good to see right there. You got options with Wooldridge. He can play slide. He can play wide receiver.
Well, and he also really takes a lot of attention from the defense, which frees up some opportunities for some of the other skill guys to not be double-teamed. Mitchell decides to run, almost loses the football, able to hang on there, getting the sack the tackle for a minimal gain is number 92 for the Raiders. That's Tyler Miller. And it is actually a sack. They lost a yard, so it's going to be 2nd and 11, ball now at the 48 of Rouse.
Yeah, last game that turnover ratio wasn't our friend, so we got to make sure tonight to make it our friend. So
we can't certainly be on the other side of it for sure. Pass out into the flat is complete from Mitchell, and receiver will carry it up for a nice gain of about 5 yards, and that's Jaramillo, number 16. And that'll make it 3rd and 5 rather. So this is kind of in the area of the field where you can have 2 down territory. It looks like there is an injured player. It's Jaramillo. His helmet came off, and the Lions will call a timeout. So we'll take a moment to mention. Well, let's go on ahead and look at the district standings while we're here in this timeout. The Cedar Park Timberwolves on top of district with a 4-0 record. They're playing Lake Belton, who are 3-1, tied with Leander and Georgetown, all log jam there. And as you can see, those 4 teams are vying for a playoff spot, and the Lions' opponent, the Rouse Raiders, want one of those playoff spots. We're back to the action here. Mitchell will take it, hand it to Gordon. He'll carry it up over the 40, spinning towards the 35, and he'll have a first down Leander on that nice carry. And the Lions really do need to focus on the run game here tonight. One, it shortens the game, and 2, I do think the Lions have a more explosive offense, especially when they're using the running game. it creates opportunities in your passing game through play action and just keeping the secondary up closer to the line of scrimmage. Gordon, the running back beside Mitchell. They'll send Wooldridge in motion. They're going to fake to Gordon. Pass to Wooldridge is complete. No, it's incomplete. It looked like it bounced out of his hand, second down. Might have been a little bit behind him. That'll stop the clock with 6:24 remaining in this game, of the first quarter of this game. So Isaac Montgomery will come into the game for Pites on 2nd and 10. They'll split Gordon out as a slot receiver in this formation for an empty set. Mitchell looks over the formation, takes a snap, looks that way, and carries straight ahead. He's in the open 30, down to about the 26, make it the 24. He'll have a first down for Leander, and the drive keeps churning. That will temporarily stop the clock at 6:16 for the setting of the chains, and the Lions are not going to waste any time getting back to the line of scrimmage. Gordon, the running back. Mitchell looking quickly, and that's tipped at the line. Looked like the pass was intended for Mason Montgomery, number 6, but it's going to fall well short as it looked like somebody there on the end, potentially number 92, Tyler Miller, able to get a paw on it. It's 2nd down now. The Lions don't want to waste an opportunity getting down here close to the red zone of the Raiders, but they'll have 3 more plays to try to execute here. Gordon, the running back beside Mitchell for Leander. They're going to hand to Gordon going to the top side of the formation. He'll cut up at the 25 and carry over the 20 to about the 18, where it'll be 3rd and 3 for the Lions. Nice gain of about 7 yards there on the run to Gordon. And they'll bring in E.J. Hargrave at running back now for Mitchell, just to his left. Mitchell calls an audible, looks like. It's still 3rd and about 3.5 yards for a first. He'll move Hargrave to the other side, and there's a pass incomplete intended for Mason Montgomery, but he was out blocking, and so obviously he did not hear the audible. So it is 4th down. It looks like the Lions are going to keep the offense on the field here. Looks like Montgomery back in the game for Garrett Pites. 4th and about, let's say, 4 yards. 3.5, maybe 4 yards, with about 5.5 minutes after the incompletion remaining here in the first quarter. Two running backs. They're going to fake to Montgomery and then flip it out to the open receiver in the flat, and he breaks a tackle and goes out of bounds. That's number 0, E.J. Hargrave. That'll be a first down. Leander inside the 10 at about the 9-yard line. Hargrave lost his helmet. Coach, there is a penalty flag down. Coach Price and the referees having a little bit of a heated discussion. Hopefully that won't.
I'm just surprised it wasn't a face mask, because, I mean, for that helmet to come off, it popped right off. So
it looks like Rouse is acting like it's a penalty against Leander, but we'll see. Face mask against the defense. So you were correct, Frank. That'll move it half the distance from the 9, so it should be right around the 4.5-yard line. 1st and goal, Leander. And the Lions looking to answer here as they burn some time off the clock here in their second drive of the evening.
Yeah, I knew there was a face mask. He popped up looking like the Headless Horseman over there.
Yeah. Well, you could see he had his I guess it's a skull cap on, but that he didn't have a helmet on.
Right.
Gordon leading the way for Mitchell, and he's going to carry it in for the score. And the Lions, with their answer, make it 7-6 with 5 minutes, 11 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. And they'll bring out Rene Rodriguez to make an attempt. And we'll bring you some score updates here momentarily.
That was some good blocking right there. He just makes it look easy. He just walked in there he could have walked in there with a sandwich in his hand. It was so easy.
So Stericker to hold for the Lions on the point after. The snap and the hold are good. The kick is up and good. So it is a 7-7 time. We'll turn it over to Ben Alaniz and see if he can get us some score updates.
Yeah, here it looks like Georgetown versus Glenn. Georgetown's winning 7-0 in the first quarter right now. And then Cedar Park and Lake Belton still 0-0 first quarter.
Did you get Georgetown and Glenn? You already did? Okay. And it looks like Bowie really put something on Aikens last night, but they're not the only one. Everybody plays at poor Aikens. Puts a 50-cent piece on them. So back deep to receive this kickoff from the Lions will be number 15 for Rouse, and that is junior Reed Henson. That doesn't make sense. He's a linebacker, but okay.
Deceptive.
They're expecting the Lions to kick this short. You can see they have 10 of their guys up near the 50-yard line in their formation. Let's see if we get a good angle here from our field camera, Nick Vorel, if there is an attempt. If not, we'll switch quickly to the wide angle.
Number 32, Renee Rodriguez, set to kick off for the Lions. Back deep to receive number 15, Reed Henson.
So Rodriguez to kick off, and he'll probably kick this deep. And he hammers it.
Oh, man.
And it's going to go into the end zone, and it'll be a touchback for the Rouse Raiders. So for their second drive, they'll have the football on the 25-yard line. 5:11 remaining here. If we can go back real quick to the district standings, the standings. And so we saw that Rouse and Leander play tonight. And so if Rouse wins this, the Lions and Rouse are tied with Rouse with a tiebreaker for that fourth playoff spot. So we want to avoid that as much as we can. Then you got Eastview, Glenn, and Chaparral rounding out the district standings. There's a snap and a handoff on the jet sweep. A little bit of a reverse as he came behind the quarterback, and I believe that is the recipient of the opening touchdown for the Raiders, Leland Smith. And he'll have a gain of about 6 yards. Second down. According to the PA, Smith on the stop. We'll give him credit for that. It's an empty set for Morgan. He'll take a snap looking, has a pump fake, has some pressure, and they'll throw a tunnel screen to Smith again, and he's able to carry it up to midfield before he's wrapped up. It'll be a first down Raiders. Making that tackle is going to be number 2 for Leander, Malachi Filan. And Rouse wasting no time, and they're inside line territory at the 49. London Morgan with an empty formation has 3 receivers on the narrow side of the formation. They go to Smith again, and he's obviously one of their weapons. Oh, he takes a shot there from number 13 for Leander, and that, of course, Bridwell. But not before he picked up a first down for the Raiders, did Smith. And so it'll be 1st and 10 again for the Raiders, and they're wasting no time back up to the line of scrimmage. They do have a running back in the formation on this play, at least to start. And they're going to hand it to that running back, number 24. Bridwell will come up and make a tackle after a minimal gain for Anthony Reyes, the running back. They're going to give him 4 yards. 2nd and 6. Ball now inside the 30 at about the 29 of Leander. Lions have got to come up with some kind of plan to get a stop here against the Raiders. London Morgan, the quarterback, same running back in the formation. They're going to throw a little screen pass to number 3, and he's going to pick up a first down plus before he's tackled. That receiver is Noah Fabula. Tackle made by number 2, Malachi Filan. Now it'll be 1st and 10 from the line, 22-yard line. The running back will remain Reyes for Morgan. There's a snap. They're going to hand Reyes straight ahead. Big hole in the middle. Bridwell able to take him down inside the 10 at about the 8. It'll be 1st and goal Raiders. So the Lions will bring in, it looked like that was number 15 coming into the game, Isaiah Conley for Leander. And it is 1st and goal for London Morgan and the Rouse Raider offense. Three receivers on the narrow side of the formation. He's looking that direction. He's going to roll out, flip it up to the end of the end zone. One-handed catch by the receiver for a touchdown. That's Cameron Cook. And it is now 13-7. Rouse back on top with a quick answer in their second possession. The Lions will have to make some defensive adjustments against that because the Raiders just walked right down the field.
They ran that quick offense flawlessly, kept the defense on their heels, and, I mean, we just couldn't keep up with them, but we're going to have to find an answer for that.
Well, this is the third homecoming for the Lions this season. They won their own, and then they beat Glenn at theirs, but Rouse having a homecoming here tonight and leading here somewhat early. Number 27 Lions on the point after, and it's good, and the score now 14-7. I want to shout out our sponsors again, the gold, silver, and bronze sponsors. The gold sponsors are Bear Electric LLC. The second gold sponsor is Mercy Veterinary Hospital. The silver sponsors are Bill Miller Barbecue, RDZ Roofing, and Raising Cane's, while the bronze sponsors are Golden Chick, Toyota of Cedar Park, Texas State Optical of Cedar Park, Whitestone Fine Jewelry, and Sisk Rob Incorporated, as well as JT Reisdorf at State Farm. So the Raiders will come out and kick off to the Lions. It'll be the third possession for Leander tonight. Connor Lyons will do the honors for the Raiders. The Lion kick return team is still on the sideline and probably should be cautious about the Rouse Raiders trying to pull some shenanigans in special teams as well, because they obviously spent some time concerned with what's going on in that, well, with the way Leander utilizes their special teams to gain an advantage. Back deep to receive is going to be Montgomery and number 1 Zane Wooldridge. As the Lions will set up in their normal kick return formation. They do have some hands-type guys there at the front, some defenders. And it is a kick deep to Montgomery at around the 4. He carries up over the 10, 15, 20, and he'll step out of bounds around. There's a penalty flag down, but he steps out of bounds around the 23, and they're going to say there was a hold against the Lions. I didn't really see it, but I was just looking at Montgomery, so. And it looks like there were 2 flags, although they may be for the same infraction. And the Lions will line up on the sideline. We'll listen. It is a hold against Leander. So they'll step off 10 yards from the spot of the foul, which is the 22. So that'll put the ball at the 12, where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Lions in their third possession. And you want to be able to respond here as Rouse just walked right down the field. You want to show them that you can do the same thing and that this is going to be a shootout.
Yeah, I think just continue momentum and just rushing. Last game, Gordon had 130 yards rushing. So if we can continue that and keep marching down the field, we'll be good to go.
Hargrave will follow Gordon across the formation, and he'll be tackled for a loss of about 1, maybe 2 yards by Agbasoga. And so it'll be 2nd and 11. There is a penalty flag on the ground. Oh, so the Agbasoga made the tackle along with the face mask, and so that'll be a 15-yard penalty for the Lions. It'll push the line of scrimmage to the 28. It'll also give them an automatic first down. Lions in the huddle here as the clock moves at 2:42 in the first. 2 running backs. It's Hargrave and Gordon on either side of Mitchell for this formation. They'll bring Wooldridge in motion. They're going to hand to Hargrave. Same play. And he's able to cut up on the outside and gain about 5, maybe 6 yards. And a little bit of shenanigans going on over there on the other sideline. The referee talking to the Rouse Raider player. Looks like number 9, Jacob Dotson.
Yeah, he didn't like the fact that Woolridge got his hands on him, kept on driving him, made a pancake out of him to the sideline.
So it looks like they gave him about 6 yards on the gain, so it'll be 2nd and 4. The Lions will bring Wooldridge out, and they'll bring in number 7, River Hom, as well as number 28 into the formation, Malachi Ramos. And the Lions will have to burn a timeout. I think maybe they had too many guys in the huddle. They got to be on the same page and know which formations they're supposed to come out in. And, sometimes that also is the coaches, because the position coach might want to move a guy in where the offensive coordinator may be calling a play for the guy that he's bringing out, So you gotta be on the same page as a staff. That's why they get the communication devices. I'm not saying that's what it was, but it is a possibility. And so the Lions burn their second timeout of the first half, or no, is that their first? According to the scoreboard, it's their first. So we'll bring you some score updates from Ben. Ben, what do you got? We got to do them quick.
Yeah, it looks like Cedar Park and Cedar Park and Lake Belton. Lake Belton score first, 7-0, first quarter. Then it looks like Georgetown and Glenn, 7-3, Georgetown.
Okay. And so we got 2 backs on either side of Mitchell here in the formation for the Lions. Mitchell takes the snap, drops back, and hits the receiver over the middle. And that's Jaramillo with a nice catch. He had to go up a little bit. That pass a little bit tall, but it was well within Jaramillo's arm reach, and he'll have the football in Rouse Raider territory at the 43, and the Lions waste no time and get on the line of scrimmage. There's the snap. They're going to hand to Hargrave, going to the short side of the field. He cuts up and spins back at the line of scrimmage for no gain. That tackle is going to be made by number 15 of the Raiders, Reed Henson.
He does a good route right there by Jaramillo. He caught them in a zone formation right there. So you had Wooldridge open on the sideline as well. So that's good that number 3 is finding his windows.
So it's a gain of 1 on that last play, and so it'll be 2nd and 9. We're down to about 1:38 here in the quarter. Gordon will be the one running back in the formation with Mitchell. 2 receivers here on the near side. They'll bring Wooldridge in motion. There's the snap they're going to hand to Gordon. He'll cut up. He's in the open 30. Breaks a tackle 25-20. He gets a block by Jaramillo 10-5. He's in for the score. And the Lions with a quick answer here in the first quarter from number 21, Camarion Gordon. What a great run, and he picked up a great block from his receiver, Dominic Jaramillo.
Yeah, once he got that full steam going, there was no one stopping him on that one.
He's got good vision, and he's shifty.
And he runs heavy behind those pads as well. So if you're going to tackle him, you better come with it.
Yeah, he's not the biggest running back, but he's definitely got a little bit of everything you want in a running back. He's got vision, he's got speed, and he will run with power. He can catch the ball as well.
And the good thing is he's a junior as well.
Yeah, so. We'll get him again. Rodriguez with the point after, and it's good. And the Lions will knot it up at 14 with 1:16 remaining. And, you don't want to trade touchdowns this whole game because it's going to come down to who has the ball last and who has the most possessions. Turnovers could be a factor in reducing possessions and gaining possessions depending on how that works out for you. But the Raiders will get the football to open the second half. And the Lions, so far, of the 5 drives, the only drive that didn't result in a touchdown was that opener for Leander. So they'll have to try to not so much play catch-up, but they'll need to get at least a stop of some kind here over the course of this football game.
Yeah, the Lions are going to have to reach deep into that toolbox on the defense and find that wrench they can throw in there and mess up the mix for them.
Yeah, they're going to have to do an adjustment, defensively against
stunts.
That run. Yeah, something, because the Raiders were able to easily move down the field on their last possession. And really on both possessions, they moved the ball pretty efficiently. So the defense is going to find that center, as we kept saying last week for the offense in the Lake Belton game. You got to understand your assignments and you got to execute. And so we'll try to bring you all the action here as the game wears on, and hopefully the Lions can get a good defensive series in this upcoming series. Rene Rodriguez to kick off. They do have a kick returner in number 19, and that is Auburn Davis. And it is a pooch kick. The Raiders were expecting it, and that's number 3 able to return that all the way up to midfield. He backed up and kind of caught it over the shoulder. That's Noah Fablia. And the Raiders will have good field position at midfield, so you take a risk there. But the defense, their job is the same whether the offense has the ball on the 10 or at midfield. They've got to get a stop. So, and they need to do it in 3 consecutive plays and force a punt. Or get a turnover.
Yeah. Find some kind of disruption, kind of mess this up a little bit.
So Morgan comes out. He'll have the kick returner, Davis, as his running back. He'll have an H-back in front of him as well. They're going to hand to Davis, and he finds his way forward for a gain of about 5, maybe 6 yards. They're going to give him 6. It's going to be 2nd down and 4 now from the Lion 44. And number 19, Auburn Davis, remains the running back for the quarterback, London Morgan, and the Raiders. They'll send him out in the flat, and they'll swing a pass out to him, and he's stuck right there. Loss on the play of about 3. Malachi Filan with a big league type hit there and tackle. He read that play all the way.
That's how you stop those flares right there.
Yeah, that'll make you not want to call it again now. It's 3rd down and 8. If you're Coach Mann, you may not want to call that one again.
Next time it might be going the other way.
So we got 2 receivers here on the near side of the formation, an empty set for the Raider quarterback Morgan.
You only fall for those so many times.
Yeah. He'll bring a man in motion. He'll roll that direction, looking downfield, and finds an open man in. It'll be a 1st down inside the 40 all the way to the 35. It looks like that was number 4 again, Leland Smith. The Lions are going to have to keep an eye on Mr. Smith as they line up in trips on either side of the formation here. Only 4 offensive linemen in the formation, and then Rouse will take a timeout. That's some trick play right there.
Yeah,
one of those receivers is not an eligible receiver, and maybe that's what Rouse wanted to talk about is to make sure they didn't get a penalty because, that guy goes downfield or they throw the ball to the wrong man. You've got to have 5 men you got to have 4 guys in the backfield, so you got to have 7 guys on the line of scrimmage somewhere.
Yeah, I think right there they're probably going to throw a short pass and have that cavalry just right there start doing a little rugby scrum.
Or you can have no more than 4. You can have 1 guy and 10 guys on the line of scrimmage. So, but nobody runs an offense like that, not since the 1920s.
So I'm interested.
Oh, that's the end of the quarter too, and it wasn't a timeout. It was the end of the quarter that I was recommending. So Ben, do you have any updates?
Yeah, it looks like Cedar Park and Lake Belton again. It's 7-7 now in the first quarter, tied. Then
talk louder, Ben.
Then Hutto and Vandegrift 0-0 still first quarter, and Georgetown and Glenn 14-3 in the first quarter. Georgetown.
All right, well, we'll bring it back to action here. 1st down and 10 for the Raiders. Davis is still the running back for the quarterback Morgan. They're going to hand to Davis straight ahead, and he's getting wrapped up right away. And that looks like that was number 42 for the Lions. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's Chase Milne swallowing up Davis.
No, that was him, Chase Milne.
So that is a loss on the play, and it's going to be 3rd and 11, it looks like. Or 2nd and 11, rather. And we have an injured player now. And we'll get you some footage of the crowd here from our camera on the field, Nick Varell. We want to thank Nick again for coming out and helping, as well as Ben and Juan and Frank and Peter. Otherwise, it's just me up here pushing buttons and hoping for the best. So, and, sometimes it works and sometimes it don't. So it looks like the line player is getting up under his own power and was more than likely one of those knock the breath out of you kind of moments that you got to take a minute. That's Caleb Lemire, and we hope and wish the best for him. It is now 2nd down and 11 after the loss on the previous play. On the handoff to Davis, the Raiders are still on the sideline.
Well, that could be a a decoy to help slow down that offense right there. Just play a low injury real quick, slow the time down, slow the clock down.
Give you a little bit of a rest, too.
Right.
So the play clock is moving now at about 30 seconds. The running back will remain Davis with his quarterback, London Morgan. 2 receivers at the top of the formation and just a couple of tight receivers here on the near side. They'll send one guy out in motion, Salceda, and they're going to hand off to Davis straight ahead. He's going to get tackled by Pites after a minimal gain of about 3, maybe 4 yards. So it will be 3rd and about 7 yards for the Raiders to get a first down. They're not quite in field goal range, although their kicker does appear to have a decent leg. I'm not sure you'd be trying a field goal here at the moment because you're looking at about a 50-yarder from where it is right now. But maybe if you gain 5-7 yards and it's not a first down, you might. So we'll see here, 3rd and long. They're going to fake to Davis. Quarterback drops back, has a man open, and what a nice pass to Smith. He threaded the needle, and Smith able to run it down inside the 10 before he's forced out of bounds at about the 7-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal for the almost call them the Grizzlies, the Raiders.
Yeah, they had too much time right there. The quarterback had enough time to do his homework in the backfield right there.
Yeah, he did. We need to get a little bit more pressure on the junior quarterback, London Morgan. He's shown that he's a very skilled quarterback if you give him time. And he was even able to make a Tony Romo-type play on that first possession where he was able to shed a tackler and still looking downfield and made a completion to the man who just made that catch, Leland Smith. 1st and goal. They're going to hand off straight ahead to Davis, and he's swallowed up at around the 5-yard line.
There you go, big Timon Lawson right there.
So Lawson could not get rooted out of the middle there and keeps the gain at a minimum. 10:20 left in this first half.
Yeah, but them boys from Leander up front are putting up a fight, though.
Well, they're going to need to all night long. This Rouse Raider team is not in a mood to lose to Leander, but Leander looking for a win here.
We can't afford to lose.
Not if you want to secure postseason. It wouldn't be the end of the season for the postseason opportunity, but you still don't want to do it. Hand off straight ahead to 24. Milne on the stop. 24, the running back, is Anthony Reyes. It's going to be 3rd down and goal from about the 4.5, or right at the 4. They'll bring in a new running back, and that's going to be number 10 for Rouse, Bryce Johns. Play clock down to about 15 seconds here for the Raiders. London Morgan looks over the defense. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff, looking to pass. He's received some pressure, rolls to his left. Almost intercepted by the Lions. Great defense there. Pass intended for, looks like number 84. That's Mason Reiger. Out there in coverage for the Lions was 12, Tyree Smith, and it is 4th down, and they'll bring out the kicking unit, which is probably what I would do in this situation. Connor Lyons will attempt the field goal. It's teed up around the 12, so it's a 22-yard attempt, and it is good, and the Raiders take a 17-14 lead with 9:01 remaining here in the first half. And we'll get Ben on the line here. Ben, what do we got here score-wise in the area?
Yeah, it looks like Cedar Park and Lake Belton. Lake Belton winning 14-7 second quarter. Then Georgetown and Glenn 21-10. Georgetown also in the second quarter.
21-10. Read that again. Georgetown up over Glenn. Okay, so Glenn and Lake Belton is leading Cedar Park. So they, that Lake Belton team is a pretty good team. Their game plan was effective against Leander. They didn't have any greater talent. In fact, they didn't have anybody that really stood out. But they were very effective as a team, and it looks like they're giving their opponent tonight a little bit of trouble as well.
Continuing that momentum.
Central Texas is pretty good in football all around, and Looks like setting up to kick off for the Raiders is going to be Connor Lyons. Back deep to receive for the Leander Lions will be E.J. Hargrave and number 10, Isaac Montgomery. So I assume Wooldridge getting a little bit of a breather. He was probably out on defense in that last series. Line drive kick is going to be fielded by Hargrave at about the 8. He's at the 20. No, wait, that was 10. They're going to say he called a fair catch? What? That was Isaac Montgomery on that return. I don't know why they stopped the play, but they're marking the football. They're saying he touched the ground with his knee. I didn't see that, but we've got it here on the stream. Did he?
Yeah, he had the left knee down when he.
Yeah, you can't do that. You can't. It's the only thing besides the soles of your feet that can touch the ground are the palms of your hand. So if your forearm, your knee, your posterior touches the ground at all, you're down there. So Gordon and Mitchell in the backfield in a traditional pistol formation. Receivers on either side of that formation. Fake to Gordon. Mitchell looking over the middle. Completes it to Wooldridge at the 25. It'll be a first down to the 27 as he's cut down by, looks like, number 0, Agbasoga. But, it's a good thing he cut him down if you're a Rouse Raider, because you don't want Zane Wooldridge in the second level with nobody near him.
He's dangerous.
Yeah, he'll take it all the way. The clock moving now at 8:42. Ball at the 21 now. The Lions hoping to gain a lead here heading into the half. Same formation, pistol with Gordon behind Mitchell. They'll bring Wooldridge in motion. There's a snap, and they're going to hand to Gordon going the way that Wooldridge was, and he'll spin his way forward for a gain of about 2, maybe 3. Let's call it 2nd and 7. Line of scrimmage at the 29-yard line of Leander. Lions will huddle with 8:07 and counting. Play clock at 25 seconds and moving. Kind of a long huddle as the Lions look over to the coaching staff for the play call. It'll be Gordon in the backfield. They have some wing backs. One of them is Zane Wooldridge, and then he'll move. A little discussion between Mitchell and Wooldridge. And the Lions will burn a timeout as the play clock was moving down. The Lions, you got to be cautious. That is the Lions' second timeout of the first half. So do we have any updates on scores, or are they the same? Cedar Creek's getting beat by A&M Consolidated 27-0. Hutto and Vandegrift are knotted at 0, as well as Westwood and Stony Point for non-district area games. Ben, you got anything else in district?
Yeah, it looks like Eastview and Chaparral 21-0 Eastview in the second quarter.
Wow. But that's not shocking. I mean, Eastview's pretty good. They had a rough go against the Georgetown Eagles recently, but
that's a good team, though.
Yeah, besides Leander, everybody's had problems with Georgetown. Other than Liberty Hill, Georgetown's probably the second best team in the area besides the traditional Westlake and Lake Travis products. Vandegrift also pretty good. Gordon, the running back beside Mitchell. They're going to hand off to Gordon. He's met by a trio right at a little bit past the line of scrimmage. Give him a gain of 1. It's going to be 3rd and about 6. 7:28 and moving. This is a big play here for the Lion offense.
Stop made by number 0, Adrian Agbasoga, number 9, Jacob Dawson, number 15, Reed Henson.
Lions taking their time in the huddle. Play clock at about 22 seconds. Looks like they got the play in, and we'll break the huddle. Hargrave, the running back, now next to Mitchell. 3 receivers, top of the formation for Logan Mitchell. He'll roll that direction. Looking downfield, his pass a little bit tall, and it's going to fall incomplete, intended for, let's see who that was. Looks like it was intended for Mason Montgomery, so 6:56 remaining. The clock will stop, and the Lions will bring the punting unit out. as they were unable here on their fourth possession, to convert points. Rouse in their 3 possessions have had scoring drives. So the Lion defense still looking to get a stop here. It looks like Rodriguez will come in for the punt, and back to receive will be Leland Smith. And we're going to have a timeout. Looks like Rouse. Yeah, Rouse will burn their first timeout with 6:56 remaining. We'll shout out the Roll Pride sponsors. They include MLD Services, Modern Shade, and Milo Aquatics. The Lion Pride sponsors are A-Plus Septic Cleaning and Repairs, Grissom Insurance Group, and Black Rock Coffee. We want to thank all of our sponsors for what they do to enable this broadcast, as well as supply meals for away games, and they have a weekly team meal that has to be covered, and all kinds of they bought this broadcast equipment, so there's all kinds of expenses. If you're a fan of Lion football or Lion sports or just Leander High School in general, and you can contribute, I would recommend, and they would appreciate the assistance at any sport, but since we're covering football right now, that'll be for that. Rene Rodriguez back to punt, Smith back deep to receive. Probably want to kick it away from Leland Smith. He's had a pretty good game so far. The punt snap goes over Rodriguez's head. He's able to get a punt off, but it's a short one, and it takes a Raider bounce and will be downed at the 35 of Leander. And that was Mason Montgomery that got over there and got on the ball. And so the Raiders almost in field goal range here, and with a, bad special teams execution, the defense finds itself with its back against its goal line, and they're looking to see if they can stop what has been a pretty explosive Raider offense here tonight. This would be the one to get a stop on if you can get it, right?
They did pretty good from the 50 last time, so we'll see right here. Stop them right here. Take 3.
They'll send the running back in motion. Morgan's pass on a tunnel screen is complete to number 11, and he'll carry it up to about the 21 for a first down. That's Cameron Cook. Pretty good design play for the first down. Ball now at the 22-yard line of Leander. Still an empty set. Just 3 linemen on the center here. Lions have 4 defenders. And it'll be a run by Morgan, and he'll be tackled pretty quickly by number 9, Matthew Anderson.
There's only so much you can do with that right there.
Yeah. That's a short yardage play or formation if I've ever seen one. You kind of see it on point after attempts when they go for 2 sometimes. 2nd down and 8 for the Raiders. Davis, the running back, behind Morgan. He gets under center, takes the snap. Quick pass over in the flat to Smith. He's going to carry it inside the 10, and he'll step out of bounds at around the 5-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal for Rouse.
Yeah, that's the last person you want out there in them flats out there.
Yeah, and that was a pretty good design, or pretty well-designed play, as it caught the Lions a little light on that side of the formation, defender-wise. Same kind of formation. They'll bring the man in motion. This time they're going to pitch it to number 10, and he'll carry it in for the Raiders scorer. That's Bryce Johns. And 4 possessions and 4 scores for the Raiders. 3 of those touchdowns, 1 a field goal, and they'll come out for the point after attempt to see if they can push the lead out to 10 against Leander. Attempting the point after is Connor Lyons. Holding will be number 3, Noah Fabila. Point after attempt is good, and the score now 24-14 with 5:40 remaining in the first half. We'll see if we can get some score updates from Ben here. Ben, what do you have for us?
Yeah, it looks like we got Lake Belton and Cedar Park, 21-14 Lake Belton, also in the second quarter. Then we got Georgetown and Glen, 28-10 Georgetown in the second quarter. And then Austin McAllen and Liberty Hill. Wow, McAllen's beating Liberty Hill 14-7 in the first quarter.
Well, we mentioned that Liberty Hill, number 7 in the state in 5A, so pretty impressive by McCallum. You know, McCallum has athletes. They've been in the playoffs the last few seasons. So
Any given Friday.
They're no slouch. That's right. And, you know, they always say that any given Sunday, but I find that to be more applicable in high school football than I do at any level. So kicking off will, as I said, be number 27, Connor Lyons, back deep to return.
Yeah, it only takes one wild hair to get them teams going.
Yeah. Back deep is Montgomery and looks like E.J. Hargrave as well. And Lyons has consistently kicked it around the 7-yard line, 5 to 7-yard line tonight on his 4 kickoffs. We'll see what he does here with his 5th. It is a high kick. It's going to be fielded by Montgomery around the 14. Montgomery running across field, cuts up at the 25, and will carry a couple of tacklers to about the 28. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Lions, and you'll take that on a kick return. 5:33 remaining here in the half. Leander's going to have an answer here going into the halftime. The last thing you want to do is have a 3-and-out and give the Raiders the football back because they've been on fire offensively.
I mean, they'll get the ball in the second half as well.
Right. Yeah, you don't want to give them an opportunity to build momentum and to build or push out their lead any more than it already is. Camarion Gordon, the running back, beside Mitchell for Leander. Mitchell takes the snap, rolls to his right, passes complete in the flat to Mason Montgomery. And, man, he gets manhandled there on the sideline trying to get out of bounds. It looks like he does not get out of bounds, although the Lions aren't really worried about the play clock at the moment. It's a gain of 7, 2nd down. Maybe 8, but we'll go with 7 right now. 5:05 on the game clock. The play clock's at 18 seconds. They'll bring in Garrett Pites from the sideline. Gordon. Oh, that's still Hargrave out there in the backfield, isn't it? No, it's Gordon. Gordon's out in the formation. They'll fake to him. Pass in the flat complete to Montgomery. He's in the open midfield, 40. He'll get tackled from behind in Rouse territory at the 38 by number 15 of the Raiders, Reed Henson. But the Lions quickly in Raider territory.
That was great blocking by the receivers right there. Pites out there laying a hat on somebody, Woolridge. So,
Pites loves contact. They're going to hand to Gordon on this play. He'll cut up 35-30. He'll have a first down and some. He keeps driving his feet, and they'll finally stop his progress at the Raider 22-yard line. Another Lion first down with 4:22 on the game clock.
Yeah, I love the momentum right now. These guys are on the ball, getting a surge.
We got to wrestle that momentum back from the Raiders. You know, they're all of the possessions we've seen tonight, the only 2 that didn't result in points were Lion possessions. So you got to make up for that. Hargrave, the running back beside Mitchell. They'll hand to Hargrave. He cuts up at the 20 and lunges forward to about the 18 and a half. They're going to mark him at the 19. It'll be a gain of 3 yards, 2nd and 7. I guess Gordon getting a breather. Hargrave's going to stay out. 2 receivers in the short side of the formation for Leander. Jaramillo here on the wide side. Pites at tight end on that short side of the formation. Long look to the sideline. Play clock's at 13. They move Hargrave back to the narrow side of the formation. There's a snap running that way is Mitchell. He cuts up at the 18 and will be forced out of bounds at around the 15. They're going to say he was out at the 16. Looked like he got at least the 15, but we'll give him that. 1, 2, 3. So it's a 4 yards remaining for the first down, 3rd and 4. 3:14 remaining. Pie on the clock.
Yeah, Rouse defensive line got the hand on their hips. They're getting beat over there.
Well, that offensive line is going to come in real important in that second half for the Leander Lions. Hargrave, the running back, beside Mitchell. Looking downfield, Mitchell's pressured and sacked. And that was a blitz by the defensive back, Adrian Agbasoga. A loss of about 8 yards to the 24-yard line. And the worst part about that is it's 4th down now. Do you take the field goal here? Because you're looking at about a 41-yard field goal, which Rodriguez can make, and there's not a lot of wind at all tonight. So we'll see here as the offense stays on the field. And the Lions do have one more timeout, so it's possible that they'll let the clock burn down and burn that as they snap the huddle with about 5 seconds on the play clock. Looks like they're going to go for it. Trips here on the near side. Mitchell rolling that direction. Hits Jaramillo. He'll spin. He's not going to have enough for the first down. He's going to be about a yard shy at the 12. Tackle made there by number 9, Jacob Dotson. And with 2:18 remaining here in the half, the Raiders get the football back from Leander deep in their own territory at around the 13. You know, where they're setting the football should be a first down for Leander. Oh, no, they moved the chains already.
That's tough right there because that was real close.
It was close. He got spun backwards. Otherwise, he would have had it.
Wooldridge is wide open in the end zone. It happens.
Yeah, it does.
Just play some defense and get the ball back.
In the backfield, Reyes for the Raiders behind his quarterback, London Morgan. They're going to fake to Reyes and pressured. Morgan flushed out. He's just going to throw it away out of bounds for an incompletion. It'll be 2nd down. That'll stop the clock with 2:11 remaining.
Yeah, I'd like to think all his pass plays will look like that if we get some pressure on him.
Yeah. Well, and that's just it. You gotta give him pressure. You can't let him sit back there and do his checkbook.
Yeah, because he's going to get everything down and some.
Right. It makes it too easy for a skilled quarterback like Morgan. Reyes, the running back, still for the Raiders. They'll bring Smith in motion. They're going to hand to Smith on the end around, and big Timon Lawson in the backfield wreaking havoc all the way down to the 7. Smith is dropped for a loss.
That's a pretty athletic tackle right there by the big boy.
He showed some good speed at that size, too, because Smith's not a slow guy.
That's where physics comes in right there. He's already running downhill momentum.
That's true.
That's a good acceleration right there.
It is a timeout Leander on 3rd and very long with 1:43 remaining. The Lions will burn their last timeout as they want to try to get the football back here going into the half with at least an opportunity to get some points. We'll go to Ben here and see if we got any updates. Ben, what do you got?
Yeah, it looks like we got Georgetown and Glenn, 35-10 Georgetown, second quarter. Then Cedar Park and Lake Belton tied again, 21-21 second quarter. And then looks like Austin, McAllen, and Liberty Hill. Liberty Hill's now beating them 21-14 second quarter too.
Yeah, that was a little surprising to me that McCallum was up. That is a really good Liberty Hill team, and they run a very unique offense in that slot T. It's hard to prepare for, and I'm sure every week they open up a new page in that playbook that they hadn't shown all season. You could probably have to go back a couple of years to get an idea of everything they run. So 3rd and long, the Raiders need to get to the 23 for a first down. Morgan rolls to his right, gets a little bit of pressure, and it's complete to number 3, and he's going to be stopped shy of the line. Oh, no, he got a good spot. They're going to say he got all the way to the first down marker at the 23, and that was number 3, Noah Fabula. And they give the Raiders a first down. Clock will start moving. It's about 92 seconds remaining here in the half.
How about those gloves? Was the second one-handed catches we've seen today?
Yeah. You better check those for Stickum. Where's Fred
Yeah.
Bolitnikoff out there or something?
Right.
2 receivers top of the formation for the Raiders. They'll fake to the running back. Morgan has a big opening in the center of the field, and he'll slide down being chased. We're going to have a penalty flag over here at the Rouse Raiders side of the formation, as it looked like there was some holding or some type going on. And they're going to discuss, and we'll see what the call is. The White Hats, Mike hasn't really been working tonight, so we've been having to go with signals. It looks like it may be going against the Lions as they or at least explaining what happened to Rouse Raider head coach Josh Mann. So let's see what the signal is and see if we can hear him. How can there be a hold defensively on a quarterback run? I don't get it. 1st and 10 for the Raiders at the 35-yard line, 1:07.
It's homecoming for Rouse.
On the clock. They'll fake the handoff, and Morgan will roll to his left, and it's broken up over there by number 8 for the Lions. Or 9, no, that was 8, Tyler Mormon. So it'll be 2nd down for the Raiders. The clock will stop at 56 seconds. Ball at the 35 of Rouse.
Yeah, that was a great defensive play right there because I think if he catches it,
yeah, he's going.
Yeah.
He's definitely puts it in field goal range at the very minimum. Running back will remain Anthony Reyes for the Raiders. London Morgan dropping straight back. A little bit of pressure. They'll get it to Reyes in the flat. He's going to get run down by Calvin Kessler, but not until before he picks up a 1st down at the 46 of Rouse. The clock stops at 49 seconds as he steps out of bounds. And they do indicate he was moving forward, so they do stop the clock. Raiders still have 2 timeouts, at least according to the scoreboard. Reyes, the running back, beside Morgan. Morgan looking that direction, steps up in front of the pressure, takes off and slides for a gain of about 8 yards, and that'll cause Rouse to burn one of their timeouts with 41 seconds remaining here in the half. What do you blitz? I mean, basically what's happening, you're dropping into coverage, and the defensive line are rushing around in the pocket created by the offensive line, and the quarterback Morgan just steps up, and he's got nothing but a green space in front of him, so he's pretty quick, and so he takes off, and he's picking up at least 5-6 yards, sometimes 12 yards a carry.
Yeah, it'd be nice to keep blitzing, but put a spy on them, because I think we're getting caught in the zones over here with these quick passes over here to the side, but if we man up, blitz, have a spy on him, I think we can contain him.
So with 41 seconds remaining in the half, the Rouse Raiders have a 2nd and 4 at the line, 48-yard line. Both teams still huddled on the sideline. We'll stay here with the broadcast. And
well, at least that's what I would choose for NCAA if I was playing right now on the Xbox.
It does look like we have an injury as well. Hopefully he's okay. It looks like it's one of the D linemen. Hope it's not Timon Lawson, but it's hard to tell from this angle. He's had a well of a ball game there in the middle for the Lion defense here tonight. Is you got any updates for us, Ben?
The big one, Battle of the Lakes. Westlake leads Lake Travis 7-3 in the first quarter. And it looks like, on a side note, Baseball World Series Game 1, Yankees and Dodgers scoreless in the top of the 4th inning.
Boy, it couldn't have worked out any better for Major League Baseball. The two biggest cities in the country are going to be, the only thing that would have been better is if the Mets actually beat the Dodgers. Then you'd have the Subway Series once again, which has happened before. And it looks like the card is coming out. I'm not sure who the player is.
That's Corsi right there on the field.
It's Corsi?
Yeah.
So we'll pray for Salorm here in the coming weeks. But it is definitely going to stop gameplay here for a few minutes as they give him attention. Inside there in the trenches can be rough. You can get rolled on. It can be all kinds of. Yeah, it's hard to tell from the stream what exactly happened there. It could be any kind of lower extremity, or he kind of fell backwards, and so I don't want to spend too much time talking about the injury because we just don't know. We just hope the best for the young man. Yeah, we've got the Nick Varell, got him walking along the sideline. He had quite set up there as we switch cameras, and we're doing our best here. If somebody wants to donate a monitor,
That'd be great.
And show us how to actually set up the software with that monitor, we would be super excited. But we want to just shout out the sponsors real quick while we got a little bit of time here. The gold sponsors are Bear Electric and Mercy Veterinary Hospital. The silver sponsors are Bill Miller's Barbecue. Have you ever had their chicken, their fried chicken? It's pretty good, man. I would recommend it. RDZ Roofing is there, as well as Raising Cane's, also pretty good chicken.
Right.
The bronze sponsors, Golden Chick, also good chicken. Maybe I just like chicken, fried chicken.
That's what it
Maybe
sounds like to
is.
me. I know what's for dinner.
Yeah. Toyota of Cedar Park, one of those bronze sponsors, as well as Texas State Optical of Cedar Park, Whitestone Fine Jewelry, a longtime sponsor, Leander football. Sisk, they were probably sponsors when you were playing, Frank.
Well, I appreciate it.
Sisk Rob Incorporated and JT Reisdorf at State Farm. Lion Pride sponsors are A-Plus Septic Cleaning and Repairs, Grissom Insurance Group, and Black Rock Coffee. The Roll Pride sponsors include MLD Services, Modern Shade, and Milo Aquatics. The other sponsors for Leander are Quality Moving and Storage, digdwell.com, Thrifty Goat Graphics, LearnLee123, that's LearNlee 123, Cedar Park Law, Wyndham Roofing, Pig Pen Cycles, that's a pig with two G's, so Piggpen Cycles, Baldy's Jeep Shop, Walks It To You, Brooklyn Heights Pizzeria, Guaco Taco, Lucky Rabbit, and Community Blessing Outreach at LHS. In fact, will you pull up that graphic for our next broadcast? Let's talk about that for a moment. The Trunk or Treat's coming up. Should be right there. You can see, sponsored by the Community Blessing Outreach. That'll be on Wednesday night at 6:30 in the parking lot, I assume, at Leander High School. Though with all the construction, I'm not.
It's on the Kettering side by the whole parking lot.
But so over there, okay.
Yeah.
So it will be over by the stadium instead of by the school because there's a lot of construction going on. In the past, we've had that podcast right outside the athletic wing. Well, the athletic wing is kind of gone right now. It's a big old pile of rubble, and they're doing a lot of work that will be completed in December of next year.
Okay,
not December of this year, December of next year.
See. Yeah.
So December 2025 is what I heard. And you know how those kinds of plans for construction can be delayed with change requests. And
If it's anything like the highways, we'll see it in 10 years.
Yeah. I saw a meme the other day when I was perusing social media, and it said Texas has finally accomplished having every road in the state under construction at the
the
same
moment,
time.
yeah.
So, and it really is. If you drive, especially when it comes to highways, if you're on any the highways in the area, you realize that. And it's one of the things I dread about basketball, because with my new job, I got to work at least pretty close to 5, if not. And some of the games are pretty far away. Like, we've got a game against Bowie in one of the first games for the basketball team.
Yeah, that 5 o'clock traffic ain't no joke.
Yeah, I'll have to probably take a little bit of PTO if I don't get laid off, because they did some layoffs today, and as far as I can tell, I made it through. Nobody called me and told me otherwise. So, it is what it is. That's part of the –
well, no news is good news.
Yeah, that's part of the job market. I've been assured that I'm not at risk, but, that's usually the thing you hear right before it does happen. And I've been caught up in those before, and I know several people, especially in the tech industry, where it happens to them very regularly. So that's why you should have a savings account of at least 6 months, if not more. Don't get me started on finance, because I went to Midway High School, so – it's actually a pretty good school, but not as skilled in math as it is in the language arts. But they do have a pretty good math program there. I just tease because I was never good at math. So, but we'll stay here for as long as necessary to bring you the action. But there is a definite delay, and the Lions are in a huddle on their sideline. They've taken a knee, and we'll get you some score updates here before too long. We're close to the halftime. There's still 41 seconds remaining in the half. The ball currently at the Lion 48-yard line for Rouse, in case you are just joining us. Rouse has had 4 possessions, and they had 3 touchdowns and a field goal out of those 4 possessions. Their last touchdown was a short field. It makes it a little easier to score a touchdown like that. The Lions have had 5 possessions with 2 touchdowns, and they've punted the ball 3 times. One of those, which is what resulted in the short possession, was a snap over the punter's head, which caused Rodriguez to have to run back and pick it up. And it looks like they are we'll just continue to discuss. So let's look at the upcoming games real quick, Juan. If you'll bring that graphic up, we'll the next game for the Lions. We'll talk about that right now. So the Lions will take on the Timberwolves in their upcoming game, and that game will be at AC Bible a week from today. That's Friday, November 1st, the day after Halloween. So we'll have Trunk or Treat on a Wednesday. I believe that makes Wednesday the 30th. And then all of the sub-varsity will have to spend their Halloween playing football games, which is probably good. Those guys don't need to be out trick-or-treating. I mean, come on.
All that, yeah.
And they can grab a pillowcase and run through the neighborhood real quick, or
right.
Maybe they have a little sibling that they can
just take it.
They
call it phantom taxis.
Yeah, or just like our parents used to do. We need to check and make sure these haven't been poisoned or tampered with in any way, and then all of the good chocolate is suddenly out of your bag.
All the peanut butter cups were tainted.
Right. Yeah, I can't help it. Somebody did something to the Reese's, so
make sure it's not poisoned.
I've got to collect them all
for sampling. I will say one thing. It's good to see Coach Lawrence, which is one of our old trainers from back in the day.
Yes.
It's just weird to see him in a Rouse shirt, so I'm going to have to have a conversation with him about that.
Yeah, he's been around a long time. So, and he did, I remember it was probably about 4 years ago, that he decided he was going to go over to Rouse. I think one of his he lives in their zone, and one of his children was attending, and he wanted to attend the high school that is
that's fair then. That's fair.
I mean, if you're going to put something above Leander, it might as well be family, right? Family and God.
I can respect that, Coach
country
Martin.
Maybe, but
just not used to not seeing you in the blue and red.
Yeah, it's one of those tough breaks. So, do you have some updates on scores at all, Ben?
Yeah, it looks like Vandegrift and Hutto. Vandegrift beating them 17-0 second quarter. Then A&M Consolidate in Cedar Creek. A&M is beating them 46-0 second quarter. And then Lake Belton and Cedar Park both tied 21-21 at half.
And we thank you for that update, Mr. Alanese. And we're still in an injury timeout here. We're going to bring you live action as soon as it occurs. You got any update on that baseball game? It's still knotted at 0 in the top of the fourth, or the end of the fourth. Who's on the mound for these guys? It looks like Cole is the pitcher for the Yanks, and then on the mound for where is he? I guess I got to hit that. So on the mound for
the Dodgers have, I believe it was Cabrera or
Cabrera.
Oh, it's
Flaherty. So Flaherty on the mound for the Dodgers. If you're at home, you might have 2 TVs on. I don't know. I'm a baseball fan, but not a Yankee fan. I don't hate the Dodgers, but they're not one of my teams at all either. Rangers. I was able to stop worrying about what happened in baseball about 10 days before the season ended, as the Rangers were well out of contention. And there's a long pause. Anything else going on? What's the NBA?
NBA, I'm going to pull up the scores. I know it's opening weekend for NBA.
Yeah, I think they started last night.
Yes, Spurs lost last night.
Who did?
Spurs lost to the Dallas Mavericks.
To the Mavericks.
Well, that's my team, though, the Mavericks. I'll
Hey,
take that all week.
him and
Luka's something else, man.
Him and Kyrie.
Yeah, that's a good combination. I remember when they traded for Kyrie, I kept thinking to myself, Kyrie's going to be a problem. Kyrie's going to be a problem. He can't be a 1 and a 2. He's got to be a 1, but he really is accepted the role, and he's really a 1A for the Mavericks, because you can set Luka down, put Kyrie in. I know they don't play the same position, but you can let the offense run through Kyrie, and he'll score a lot of points during Luka's rest period.
Yeah, well, Luka's fun to watch. He's just popping threes out of nowhere, and he makes it look so easy.
It's nuts how it looks like, because he doesn't look fast, but he's driving past otherwise quick defenders. So it's very, very interesting.
He's up on his feet.
Oh, I like to see that.
There you go.
And he gets a standing ovation from both fan bases, and we want to shout out and appreciate these. The opponent. It doesn't matter when it's a rivalry. If there is a health issue of any type, you want to support those guys. They're out there working their tails off day in, day out, and the last thing they want to deal with is injury. So we'll bring you the action as soon as it comes back up. Some scores in the NBA. The Orlando Magic 94-78 over the Nets. There's about 7.5 minutes left in that game. The Raptors are ahead of the Sixers with about 12 minutes. That score 84-77. The Atlanta Hawks over the Hornets right now in the third, 82-71. These are all pretty close games. The Cleveland Cavaliers 89-79 over the Pistons. The Knicks are beating the Pacers. The Rockets trailing the Grizzlies. The Bulls and Bucks look like they're in a pretty good battle, 64-63. And I believe that is what we have for Friday night. They look like most of them were in the East. Oh, well. some of the West teams played last night. Like we said, the Mavericks 1-0 on their way back to the finals.
Yeah, I like how P.J. Washington was added to that. Like the way he was shooting last year, hitting them threes out of nowhere and getting rebounds.
Yeah, they had a bunch of guys. They got a trade late, and it really made a difference in the playoffs for them. And so Coach Price calls his team down to the corner of the end zone. I'm not sure Peter sees that, and let's see if camera 2's got that up close. He's moving that direction. You can see his feet moving.
Some nice shoes you got there, buddy.
Yeah. Nick's sporting the good shoes. Let's see. Do you see him down there with the camera? He's wearing a blue shirt. That kind of throws you off. There he is. He's got it set up. He's not quite focused yet, though. It's been a long pause here. You know, we hope for the best for all the players. You know, that's one of those things that can really change the momentum and you know, other things in a game. I mean, you're not as warm as you were because you've been standing around. You know, they always say in Texas you really take a knee, right? That has just been kind of Texas tradition. And, you know, a few years ago some guys came out and said, no, that's not a good thing because, you know, you get tight when you're sitting there on your knee. You should still be moving around, but it's a respect thing. And, you know, I'm an old school guy. You should take a knee and, you know, make sure that the injured player is okay. And both teams are going to do a little bit of a warm-up here over the next couple of minutes so that they can execute over the last 41 seconds here in the half. And the Rouse has pretty good numbers there on their team lines as well. They got new uniforms. Rouse does this year. They don't have the maroon helmet like they have in the
nice
past.
And shiny this year.
They got it black on black. They're black pants with white stripes and black jersey. They have a black helmet with a gold Rouse Raider emblem. The Lions, of course, wearing white on white, the ice color. My favorite uniforms are plain and white. I like the Penn State's uniforms. I like Texas when they're white on white. Right. You know, I think it's a clean look. You know, schools like Oregon and Baylor and you know, even some high schools that change up their jerseys constantly and their helmets and stuff. You know, you lose a little bit of focus on what the purpose is, right? And the purpose is to get out there and, you know, prepare for your next opponent, not worry about how good you look.
Well, if you look good, you feel good, you play good, suppose is what they say.
Well, I can understand.
Back in the day
that.
for us, it was the all blue with the black Nike socks.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, I've always been a fan of the blue jerseys. Being a Cowboy fan, it makes it a little bit easier to like blue.
Right, yeah.
My high school, the Midway Panthers, also red, white, and blue, just like Leander. So it was
great color scheme.
Yeah, easy transition. Well, you know,
right.
you're talking about the United States of America. You're talking about the state of Texas. I mean, you're right. There's a lot to be said about that color scheme because you can do a lot with it. You can wear white, you can wear blue, you can wear red. And in other sports, I don't mind that as much, changing the uniforms like basketball and baseball. That doesn't bother me as much as for some reason football. You know, I've never been a Penn State Nittany Lion fan, but I like their white uniforms. I just do. When they have a white out at Happy Valley, Pennsylvania, and the entire stadium looks white, looks like it's been snowing in the bleachers.
That's cool.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know what team it was last week, but they had the decals on their helmets look like the old leather helmets.
Yeah, that was Illinois. They were giving a tribute to Red Grange, who apparently broke a record against Michigan in like 1919 or you know, way back when. I don't remember. I'm sure a Big Ten fan was over there just gritting their teeth because they know exactly why. But I had read a little tweet about them, and that was really a slick-looking
They
helmet.
look pretty cool. Would you imagine strapping those up back in the day and getting at it?
Yeah, and there have been a couple in the military academies that they've had some pretty good helmet designs. But, you know, it's one thing when you're Air Force playing Navy or Navy playing Army to have something pretty or different.
Yeah.
It's not the same when you're Oregon and you're playing Stanford, and then you're playing
Oregon has
Cal.
those slew of jerseys over
Yeah.
there.
And you know,
They're nice, though, because they're Nike.
well, that's just it. You got a guy, Phil Knight, the owner of or founder of Nike. I don't know if he's still how much he owns, but he's made a ton of money off of the brand, and you know he can afford to do that. So that's why we need sponsors, so we can get close to some of that kind of stuff.
Come on, guys.
Kids do like to change it up. So you got some updates for us, Ben?
Yeah, it looks like Chaparral and Eastview, 21-19 Eastview at half.
So Chaparral came back.
Yeah, and then Georgetown and Glenn, 42-17 in the second quarter. Georgetown. And then on another side note, some hockey. Got Texas Stars lead Iowa 2-1 in the second period.
I'm going to have to go check out another Texas Stars game. My problem, those seats in that stadium are so
the
narrow.
Cedar Park Center?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, I hear you.
And every time there's a fight, you want to stand up and you got to squeeze yourself out of the seat. You make this sound
Yeah.
every time there's a fight. So
I try to eat before I go over there because you go over there, those things are pretty pricey over there.
yeah, well that's a for sure. You know, as a kid when we went to movies, we'd always sneak in the candy.
Oh,
Right? 'Cause
always,
my mom
yeah.
was not going to pay
Stop
for
by the
it.
dollar store before you get
So
there.
maybe
Yeah.
you do the same thing at the hockey match.
Right, pop
I
mom.
did that with Chick-fil-A to a movie theater once.
Oh yeah, yeah. Take Chick-fil-A to the movies.
Put it in her big purse and
Regal Cinema, if you're listening, we're just kidding.
Yeah. That is where they make the lion's share of their revenue is at the concession. And, you know, it's not like you can smuggle in a giant tub of popcorn. So, I always want a tub of popcorn. So, well, some of us got space we can hide it
Right, yeah.
and it not look too crazy. There's some skinny people out there you'd be like, is that guy pregnant?
Wearing some Jinko jeans, got some popcorn underneath them.
Reyes, the running back, behind the quarterback, and he's rolled out. And Pites is on his tail, and their pass is complete to number 7, Sauceda from Morgan. And that'll be a first down. That'll stop the clock with 33 seconds to move the chains. The ball at the line, 33-yard line. Empty set, Morgan drops back, throws in the flat, is complete again to number 7. Sauceda in there to make the stop for the Lions. Malachi Filan, the clock down to 23 seconds. The Raiders do have one timeout, but they're going to probably use it for – they do stop the clock to move the chains. The clock moving again now at 19 seconds. They'll probably use that to attempt a field goal. Morgan rolls out. There's a hold there on the edge. No call. There's some pressure on the receiver, and there's a flag in the secondary. 3 flags in the secondary, and a couple of them came out way late, so I'm not really sure. There's 8 seconds on the game clock. It could be a defensive hold or pass interference. No, it's going to go against the Raiders. That might push them out of field goal range. Ball currently at the 23. That's going to be at the 28. So they got enough time to run one play, call a timeout, and attempt a field goal here. This would be, if they attempted it from here, it's a 45-yard attempt with no win. So it is makeable, but still tough nonetheless.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see a pick 6 right here.
Running back is Anthony Reyes beside London Morgan. Bring a man in motion. There's the snap. Morgan looking downfield, throws up the seam, almost intercepted by number 8 of Leander.
That's it.
Tyler Moorman, and that'll be the end of the half as they took too much time. What is going on? Are they going to give them a second? I don't think so.
I think there was a second left for that ball.
Okay, the Lions are moving into the locker room. And it is going to be the half. The score will be 24-14. We'll be back in about 28 minutes. We'll try to turn the speaker up so you can hear the band, and we'll be back. Stay with us here on SHN Sports, your home for Lion football.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Taking the field for your halftime entertainment are your Leander High School Bluebells. The Bluebells are under the direction of Ashley Williams and Lupe Sommer. The Bluebells would like to congratulate the Teacher of the Week, Mr. Hoadley. The Bluebells are led by Captain Jessica Egglesey, First Lieutenant Claire Smith, Second Lieutenants Ella Bowman and Mackenzie Cady, Head Company Leader Sienna Johnson, and Company Leader Maddie Enriquez. Congratulations to the Bluebell of the Week, Allison Kraft. Every week, the Bluebells nominate a teammate who has shown exemplary acts of love and compassion to receive the Be Kind, Be a Bell Award. Congratulations to Reese Hamilton. Along with the amazing Leander Marching Band, here are your Bluebells performing to Let It Whip. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it once again for the incredible Leander High School Bluebells. The Bluebells would also like to give a heartfelt thank you to their amazing parents, the Leander High School administration, and the unconditional support of the incredible Leander High School Marching Band, led by Ryan Cerna, and the Leander High School football program, led by Coach Chris Price. Enjoy the rest of the game, and let's keep the excitement alive. Roll Pride! And now, ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome to the field the Leander High School Marching Band. The Leander Band has been recognized for outstanding achievements throughout the entire country. The band is a consistent finalist at the Bands America contests in Austin and San Antonio, the UIL 5A State Marching Contest, and the Bands of America Grand Nationals Championships. This November, the Leander Band will be traveling to Indianapolis, Indiana, to compete in the Bands of America Grand Nationals competition. Congratulations to the members of the week: Woodwinds, Blake Williams; Brass, Tony Valderrama; Guzman; Xbox, Evelyn Helton; Percussion, Justin Kelly; Guard, Lily Tapia Ramirez; and the section of the week, the Mellophones. Tonight, the Leander High School Band will perform movements 2, 3, 4, and 5 from their 2024 field production, Shades, featuring the music of Peter Gabriel, Kataj, Copley, and Jacob Collier, under the direction of drum majors Natalie Cox, Jason Rodriguez, Kayla King, Mariah Reeves, and Kyra Vance, the Leander High School Marching Band. From Leander, Texas, the Leander High School Marching Band. The Leander Band would like to thank their incredible band parents, amazing administration, the football team, and Coach Chris Price, as well as all of the Bluebells and their coaches Ashley Williams and Lupe Sommer. The Leander Band would also like to wish the members of the Rouse High School Band and Color Guard best of luck the rest of this season. Thank you to all of our sponsors, Adam Lowy Law Offices, All-in-One Home Solutions, Dairy Queen Leander, Honda Leander, Link Architecture, Plushy Maniacs, Megan Schneider Independent Sensi Consultant, Lease Manual Therapy, SOSN Woodwork, Spectrum Services, Summit Jewelers, Thrive Realty LLC, Toyota of Cedar Park, Waste Logic LLC, and Whitestone Animal Hospital. Let's hear it one more time for the Leander High School Marching Band.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The Leander Independent School District and the Fine Arts Department at Rouse High School are proud to introduce to you the Rouse Royals and the Rouse Band. Rouse Royal officers are Second Lieutenant Sophia Garcia, First Lieutenant Maddie Krause, Second Lieutenant Aikman Lee, and Captain Emma Elcure. Social officers are Social Company Alexis Frank and Leah Yanez, Social Vice President Brianna Fuentes, and Social President Beth Marriott. Royal of the Week is Lainey Kim, and Spirit Girl of the Week is Grace Wall. Tonight, the Royals will perform a skirt routine to Give Me Everything. Ladies and gentlemen, the Rouse High School Royals. The Royals are under the direction of Amy McKee and Jordan LaFevers. The Royals would like to thank their Regal level sponsor, Move Dance and Fitness, and their Royal level sponsors, Mode Design Company, Clear Choice Eye Care, Ground Guys of Pflugerville and Cedar Park, DJ Paul Seacrest, Great American Cookies and Marble Slab Creamery in Leander, Twinceptual Designs, the Krause Family, and House of Dance.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the 2024 Rouse High School homecoming presentation. We direct your attention to the center of the field as we proudly present our 2024 homecoming court. Freshman royalty, Calvin Knipple and Presley Rodriguez. Calvin Knipple is escorted by his parents, Robin and Kevin Knipple. He is a member of Rouse football and Rouse baseball. Presley Rodriguez is escorted by her parents, Jordan Hill and Graham Hill. She is a Rouse cheerleader and a Rouse baseball manager. Sophomore royalty, Jeffrey Kelly and Maddie Asbell. Jeffrey is escorted by his parents, Jeff and Rochelle Kelly. Jeffrey is part of Rouse soccer and plays club soccer. Maddie is escorted by her parents, Jennifer and Travis Asbell. Maddie is a Rouse varsity cheerleader and currently Royal International Miss Role Model Junior Teen. Junior royalty, Reed Henson and Autumn Bilberry. Reed is escorted by his dad, David Henson, and his mom, Kathy Henson. He is a Rouse varsity football player, Rouse track member, and Rouse Raider wrestler. Autumn is escorted by her dad, Michael Bilberry. She is a member of the ASL National Honor Society and FCCLA Junior Class Representative. Congratulations to our homecoming royalty. Now for your 2024 homecoming senior nominees. Senior nominee, Tristan Griffin. Tristan is escorted by Rachel Guerrero. After graduation, Tristan plans on attending ACC for 2 years for radio and television and move far away from Texas afterwards. Senior nominee, Jordan Henderson. Jordan is escorted by Angel and Jarvis Henderson. She is a dual credit ACC student, is part of the Black Student Union, and spends her free time engaging with members of her community. After graduating, she plans to attend college and receive her master's degree in business marketing. Senior nominee, Jacob Peters. Jacob is escorted by Jeff and Carrie Peters. He is on the Rouse basketball team and a Rouse pal. After graduating, he plans on attending Texas A&M and studying aerospace engineering. Senior nominee, Maddie George. Maddie is escorted by her dad, Adam George, and her mom, Kayleigh George. She plays softball and throws shot put and discus in track for Rouse High School. And also is in PALS. Maddie will continue her softball career at Ole Miss. Senior nominee, Tyler Evans. Tyler is escorted by Derek Evans, Jill Marcus, and Jason Marcus. He is a Rouse varsity football player. Tyler plans after high school are undecided, but he does plan to get his money up. Senior nominee, Briley Bartow. Briley is escorted by Katie and Brian Bartow. She is a member of the girls track team, varsity girls basketball manager, and is a member of Women in STEM. Briley plans to attend the University of Arkansas for business. Senior nominee, Keely Walters. Keely is escorted by Deborah Durbin LeBlanc. Keely serves as secretary of the ASL Honor Society and vice president of the ASL Club. She is also inducted thespian, an A honor roll student, and a member of the National Honor Society. She plans to attend ACC for 2 years and then transfer to Montana State University, where she will major in graphic design and minor in film. Rouse High School principal Vincent Hawkins will crown this year's king and queen. Our 2024 homecoming king is Tyler Evans.
Welcome back here to John Gupton Stadium, home of the Rouse Raiders and the Vista Ridge Rangers. Rangers played here last night against Manor, and the Raiders hold a 24-14 lead over the Lions. It looks like they have just crowned their king, and it is a football player. Is that an 8?
58.
So that is, in case you care, number 58, Tyler Evans, the senior defensive lineman, winning homecoming king for the Rouse Raiders. Lions are on the field as well as the Raiders doing a warm-up here. We are going to bring you some updates here momentarily. Right now, College Station really putting it on the Lockhart Lions by a score of 49-3. Burnett trails Brownwood by a score of 21-14. A&M consolidated all over Cedar Creek. You got some local scores for us, Ben?
Yeah, it looks like Georgetown and Glenn. Georgetown beating them 45-24 at half. And then it looks like Cedar Park and Lake Belton still tied 21-21 in third quarter. Then McAllen and Liberty Hill. Of course, Liberty Hill leading them 42-23 in the second quarter. Then we got Eastview and Chaparral, only 21-19 in Eastview at half. And then Vandegrift versus Hutto, 17-0 Vandegrift at half. Then it looks like, got on the side note, Baseball World Series Game 1. Looks like the Yankees leads the Dodgers 2-1 in the 6th inning, thanks to a 2-run homer by Stanton.
So we're about 90 seconds away from the second half getting started. Lions coming out onto the field. Lower this crowd mic a little bit.
And here come your Rouse Raiders.
Joining me on the air, Frank Rodriguez. Frank, first half, the Lions had a difficult time slowing down this Rouse Raider offense. They had 5 possessions and resulted in 4 scoring, 3 touchdowns and 1 field goal for the Raiders. In fact, they were on their way to score on that 5th drive, but ran out of time. The Lions had their 5 drives there in the first half, resulting in 2 touchdowns.
Yeah,
what are your thoughts?
You're going to get some pressure on that quarterback. Him and number 4 are too dangerous to give him some time to let anything develop.
Well, and you mentioned a strategy in the first half about putting a spy on the quarterback for the Raiders, and that's number 1, London Morgan. Maybe we'll see that here in the second half, because we talked about it in the first half. The pocket is formed, and whenever pressure gets into Morgan, he takes off, and there's nobody there in the middle of the field. So hopefully the Lions will recognize that going into the half, and the defensive coaches will put a quote-unquote spy or 2 on Morgan to make sure that they shut that down, because that's really been deadly to the Lion defense.
Yeah, at the very least, just get in his face, because we've seen what it looks like when he can't pass. He's bamboozled out there, which is good for the Lions, because we can hold the run game pretty good if we can establish. When Mill gets down on the ground, he does pretty good at getting past those guys.
Certainly does. Kicking off for Leander is going to be Rene Rodriguez, and the Rouse Raiders expecting some kind of onside attempt here, as they've got all 11 guys within about 20 yards of the line of scrimmage, and then they drop back into a more traditional, although they're still their returners only at about the 23, and then now he backs up. Rodriguez puts it into the open area around the 20.
Right,
it's going to be fielded by number 11 at about the 13. He's going to get wrapped up immediately inside the 10, but they're going to mark him where his progress took him at about the 12-yard line. So the Lions, with a little strategy on that kickoff, kicking away from the returner and forcing someone who's not accustomed to returning the kicks to run down and try to return it, and we'll see if that can result in a quick 3-and-out and then get the offense back on the field for the Lions. Coming in at running back for Rouse is going to be number 24, Anthony Reyes. He'll join London Morgan, and there'll be 2 receivers on the short side of the formation, one here on the wide side. They'll bring one of those on the short side to the wide side in motion, and they'll hand off to Reyes straight ahead. He squirts out. He's at 20, 25, about the 29 before he's tackled. They're going to give him the 30, so it'll be a first down. Pite's in on that stop for the Lions, and, that was just a hole that opened up between guard and tackle, and there was nobody there to make the play on the running back, Reyes. Morgan looking to throw. He's able to get it to number 4, Smith. And he starts inside, bounces back outside, and he's forced out of bounds by number 44, Virgil Garcia. There'll be a gain of 9 to the 39. And again, Rouse coming out pretty explosive offensively. 2nd down and 1. Reyes remains the running back for Morgan. 2 receivers on the wide side of the formation. One of those is Smith.
There you go.
We have a penalty flag down. It's going to be a false start against Rouse. That'll make a 2nd and short, a 2nd and medium. Again, the crowd mic here in another LISD stadium seems to be on the blitz, and we're bringing you some crowd noise from the internal speaker here in the studio. Just is not as good, and the referee's mic isn't working either. Reyes with a handoff. A little bit of over pursuit by the Lions will result in about a 4-yard gain to the 38. It'll be 3rd and 2, an opportunity for the Lions to try to get a stop and force a decision for the Raiders. Again, 3rd and 2. Pites comes into the game for Leander. The other defensive end, number 44, Virgil Garcia. We'll see if they can get some pressure. It's going to go straight ahead to Reyes, and he backs his way over the 40 to the 41 for a Raider first down. In fact, they're going to give him all the way up to the 42. Timon Lawson, the gentleman on the bottom of the pile, and he looks like he may be nicked up. 10:49 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. We got any updates on scores, Ben? What's the baseball score? That's the one I really care about. And I normally wouldn't, because I don't like either one of those teams very much.
Yeah, it looks
2-1, Yankees on top, looks like. Sorry about that, Ben. I stepped all over your call. It happens. We'll get you some other updates here before too long. Lawson looks like he's going to be able to get up under his own power, although he is a little bit gimpy. It gets tough there in the trenches. You got guys falling all over the place, and you could step on one and roll your ankle. You could have one roll up the back of your leg, which could, hurt your ankle or your knee.
Yeah, it's getting tough down there in the trenches. We're down to our 3rd string nose guard.
Well, we'll see what he can do here.
I'm going to give me some pads real quick. I'll be back, Chuck.
I'm sure I'm sure they would probably accept that, although I don't know if you have any
I'm good
eligibility for about 40 seconds of plays.
Yeah.
One set of downs maybe.
About 4 plays, I'm good.
I don't know if I could do 2 plays. I mean, they're short, 8 seconds, but they are intense. I mean, I think I probably could, especially after catching the second wind.
If it gets past me, I apologize. I ain't catching them.
They'll bring Smith in motion. Will Morgan. There's the snap they're going to hand to Reyes. Another hole on the left side. He'll pick up about 5 yards to the 47 of Rouse. Number 5, Calvin Kessler on the stop for the Lions. We're down to 10:20 here in the third. Morgan. Reyes to his left. He'll bring Smith in motion. They're going to hand to Reyes straight ahead. And he finds a little crease and carries over midfield into Lion territory to the 44, tackled by number 9, Matthew Anderson. But another Rouse Raider first down. The Lions are going to have to figure something out to try to get some way to slow this Rouse attack down. Just to the side of Morgan will be Reyes. And we'll have a flag and a timeout. It's another false start call against Rouse. That'll back the football up to the Leander 49. It'll be 1st and 15.
Help slow that momentum just a little bit.
Hey, anything you can get.
We'll
Stay
take
behind the chains. That's the goal here. You got to get the football back, and this Raider offense has been tough to stop tonight for Leander. A little pistol formation, but Reyes is going to be just to the right of Morgan. 2 receivers here on the wide side. They're going to hand to Reyes straight ahead, and there's a gap there between guard and tackle on the right side, and he bounces his way like a pinball for a first down all the way to the he's going to say he's a little bit short, the 35. So it's going to be 2nd and 1. So they'll bring in some substitutes, will the Raiders?
They got to find an answer for that zone right there because 12, 10 yards, that's too much right there.
We got to come up with some kind of run blitz or something. They're going to hand off straight ahead. This time the running back is number 19 for Rouse. That's Auburn Davis, and he'll pick up the first down near the 30.
I tell you what, though, Bridwell is coming down the hill right now and headhunting. And that's good to see. He's just 5-6 yards off the ball.
Yeah, it looked like Big Mac Schwesper on the stop. For Leander, but it is another Rouse first down. This time they have quad receivers on the top of the formation, and Morgan comes under center, looks that way, and they'll hit the inside receiver. And there is a flag thrown down. Frank called it. That's Auburn Davis, the running back, on the reception. It's just a long pitch is all that was, but we do have a penalty flag down at the 29. And it is going to be a hold against the Raiders, so that'll step them off 10 yards in the Leander direction, a little favorable to the line.
Yeah, that's nice right there. But then again, that was Bridwell coming down the hill right there. They just couldn't stop him. The only option was to hold him.
Yeah, he comes down with a head of steam. The ball now at the 39-yard line of the Lions, so it'll be 1st and 19. So I guess the hold actually happened a yard downfield. The running back is number 19, Auburn Davis, next to Morgan. And they'll bring Smith in motion. And it's Davis on the reception, but he's run down for a minimal gain. Who is that?
That's Kessler right there.
Kessler. We have a flag in the middle of the field in the trenches, and hopefully that's not against the Lions because they got the Raiders behind the chains right now.
No, that was holding right there. What?
Okay, so these are going to offset. It'll be second down and 19.
Well, number 70 had yanked him down right there. That should have been holding. But, I mean, it was the retaliation on number 15 on that play.
I don't know what's going on. The Leander players and the Rouse players are well behind the line of scrimmage. And now they get back to where they need to be. It is second down and about 17. They gave him 2 on that gain.
It was good to see old Lawson back out there on that last play.
Yeah. Sometimes you just got to get off the field for a
There you
second.
go, get 'em
Pressure,
practice.
and it's a tunnel screen is complete to number 84. And a decent game for Mason Reiger. He's going to be tackled about the 25-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd and 5, and opportunity to try to get off the field here for the Lion defense and at least try to force a long field goal attempt or, them to try to go for it on 4th down. But you got to try to get a stop here on 3rd and 5 so that 4th down is, if they decide to go for it, is more difficult to negotiate. Davis, the running back for the Raiders. They're going to hand to him straight ahead. He spins his way forward. He's got a first down inside the 20 to about the 16. You got to wrap him up. There were some Lion players that had opportunities there to make the stop, but it'll be a first down Raiders with 7:27 remaining in the 3rd. And there's another injured player down. We'll take a moment here to see if we got some score updates.
Looks like Cedar Park and Lake Belton. Lake Belton winning 28-21 in the 4th quarter.
Wow.
Yeah. Then we got Eastview and Chaparral 28-27 in the 3rd quarter, Eastview. And then Liberty Hill and McAllen 42-38 Liberty Hill.
McAllen rallying, though. Is
Yeah.
that the 4th?
That's half.
Halftime?
Yeah. And then for a little hockey score update, we got Texas Stars and Iowa Wild 4-1 Texas in the 3rd period.
That always throws me off that hockey only has 3 periods.
Right. Makes you wonder what's going on over there with Liberty Hill because they run the ball out. You'd think that game already be almost done with already.
Yeah, I guess maybe McAllen. Well, that may also be the score, just the website we're using hasn't been updated. I mean, that game could be over, I guess. But
yeah, because like I said, that clock continuously runs when they're playing.
Well, they do throw the ball quite a bit out of that. They call it a slot tee instead of a wing tee, but they line a couple of guys. Instead of on wings, they're out in the slot, and they run it out of a kind of a pistol-type shotgun. So you can do a lot with that, but there's a lot of misdirection, and it can really mess with a defense. Raiders out here, 1st and 10, looking to throw towards the end zone.
Oh, good
in and out of the
defense right there.
hands of number 11, Cameron Cook, out there defensively.
Nicholas
Winton out there defensively for Leander. The clock will stop with 7:15. It's second down, ball at the 17.
That's a good swat right there.
Yeah, still in the backfield, Reyes, number 24. 3 receivers on the left of the quarterback, Morgan. They're going to hand straight ahead to Reyes. Ball on the ground, maybe? No, they just pulled him back by the football. Minimal gain of about 4, maybe 5 yards. And we've got another injury.
There's Lawson again. That boy's playing hard and tough right now. He just –
playing nose is probably one of the most difficult and unrecognized positions unless you play football and you know what kind of work goes into being a nose tackle.
Yeah, his body's getting torqued right there. He's over there dealing with the block and at the same time trying to make the tackle, and his body's getting turned this way and turned that way at the same time. So I can see why Timon Lawson's getting kind of beat up tonight.
Well, and it's usually a double team too when it comes to a nose, because you've got the one guy that's ahead of you, and then usually one of the guys is coming down on you from whatever direction the football's going. So you've got to battle your way through a double team as well as try to make a tackle, and they expect you to get penetration too. You can't just make a lot of tackles at the line of scrimmage or 2 or 3 yards downfield. You got to get into the backfield. And this Rouse Raider football team, they have some big linemen. They have had big linemen for, I don't know, since whenever the school was built, and they took all of Leander's big linemen.
Over on this side of the tracks over here.
Yeah. Well, the area has really grown. It's who would have thought Liberty Hill would be a 5A school 5 years ago, even 10 years ago? It's amazing how much the area has grown.
It's a big 3rd and 6 right here.
Yeah, big opportunity. They've had some third down opportunities to try to get off the field, but the Raiders have been very successful. Reyes is the running back beside Morgan. They're going to hand to Reyes straight ahead, and he's going to have the first down. It looks like it's going to be real close. They are giving it to him at the 7. It'll be 1st and goal for Rouse with 6:55 remaining in the third, and the Lion defense is still yet to find an answer to this Rouse offensive puzzle.
Might be time to stack that box.
You got to do something. Make them throw it. They've been able to do that as well, though. It's going to hand up. Fake to Reyes. Pass on the slant is complete for the touchdown. Is that? That's number 3 on the reception. Noah Fabila with 6.5 minutes. The score is now 30-14 with a point after attempt coming up by number 27, Connor Lyons. The recipient of that touchdown pass, Noah Fabila, is going to actually hold here. Kind of an awkward snap, but he's able to get the hold down, and the kick is good. It's a 31-14 Rouse lead with 6.5 minutes. We're about 18.5 minutes left of game clock. The Lions need to really get some points here on their opening drive of the second half, as the Raiders were able to eat off about 5 minutes and 29 seconds with their opening drive and push the lead out. They had led by 10. Now it is a 17-point Rouse Raider lead.
Should go for one of those Zane Wooldridge touchdowns right about now.
Hey, something to grab some momentum. It doesn't have to be a touchdown, just a good kick return to give the offense a little bit of a charge heading out into their opening drive of the second half. Lions still on the sideline discussing what they're going to do here. I'm sure Rouse saw the footage of the reverse a couple of weeks back that Zane Wooldridge caught from Isaac Montgomery on their kick return, and it is Montgomery and Wooldridge out there right now. Maybe we'll see a fake one here, and Montgomery will keep it. Because if you can get the Raider defense focused on Zane Wooldridge, Isaac Montgomery has the speed and the athleticism to really make a play on this. We'll see here. It's going to go to Montgomery. He'll catch it on one hop at the 18, cuts across field 20, 25 to about the 27 before he's wrapped up. There on the stop, number 15, Reed Henson. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Lions with a 6:24 remaining in the third. Lions will huddle on the sideline.
The Lions are going to need to bring some authority right here on this drive.
They do need to grab some momentum. Camarion Gordon, the running back, next to Mitchell. 2 receivers at the top of the formation. Mitchell running to his left. Kind of ducks the shoulder and lunges forward for a gain of 3 to the 30. We'll make it 2nd and 7.
Like we always said, he's always good for 3.
Yeah, I mean, at the very least. And I don't know if that was even the intended play. It almost looked like it might have been a broken play. 2nd and 7. Gordon remains the running back. Mitchell rolls out, flips it in the flat to Gordon. He catches at the 30, 35, and he plugs his way forward for a first down and still on his feet all the way out of bounds at about the 40. And a little bit of pushing going on between Gordon and Judson Mann, the senior defensive back, the son of head coach Coach Mann. Probably not real happy with that. Ball at the 39 for the Lion offense, 5:46 remaining. Traditional pistol formation. Fake to Gordon, looking downfield. Mitchell rolls to his right with the pressure. Tucks it, knocks a defender down, and is slung forward to about the 44, a gain of 5.
It looked like a horse collar right there.
Yeah, it was kind of an awkward tackle for sure. It's going to be 2nd and 5. Lions need to get to the 49 for a first down. Clock moving at 5:22. Gordon remains the running back. 3 receivers here on the near side. Jaramillo, Wooldridge. Yeah, I don't see who that inside one. Maybe Pites. Fake for Mitchell, and he throws the other side, and it was Mason Montgomery, and he had it. Hit him in the hands, but unable to handle it. And that's one of those that I think he just sometimes throws it like he's on the pitcher's mound, and comes with a little bit too much, but he had to fit it in there. That was Trey Mays on the defense for Rouse. 3rd down, 5 yards for a first down. And we're really down 17. You're probably going for it here on 4th down in this area of the field. Although you might want to punt it, but Rouse has shown they can drive the length of the field against the Lion defense, at least tonight. Fake to Gordon. Mitchell rolls to his left. Pass is complete to no, that's Pites.
Mr. Football.
Who breaks at least one tackle and is dragged out of bounds at the Rouse Raider 44-yard line by number 15, Reed Hansen.
That was a good play right there. Watch him skate out the back right there.
And it looks like Gordon will remain the running back beside Mitchell. 3 receivers top of the formation for the Lions. Fake to Gordon, passes complete to Pites, and then he loses the handle. There defensively for Rouse is number 2, Judson Mann. That'll stop the clock with 4:36 remaining. It'll be 2nd and 10 for the Lions. You got to get some points on this drive. Even if it's a field goal, you got to cut into this 17-point lead. If you at least get a field goal, you're only down 2 scores. But then, you got to make a stop defensively, and they haven't been able to do that tonight. An empty set for Mitchell. 3 receivers top of the formation, 2 here on the near side. Mitchell decides to run. Then he flips it out complete to Gordon, and he'll carry it up to the 36 before he's pushed out of bounds, about 2 yards shy of the line needed for a first down. So it's going to be 3rd and 2. The Lions will huddle up. Gordon will come out of the game. E.J. Hargrave comes into the game. 2 receivers here on the near side. One of those in the slot is Zane Wooldridge. And they bring it up close to him. They'll hand to Hargrave. He'll cut up over the middle, and he'll have a first down at about the 31. On the stop, Adrian Agbasoga. First down for the Lions at the 31.
Hey, I'm not complaining, but that clock hasn't been running for a minute.
We needed to not run.
Right. Pause it for another minute.
Hargrave just to the side of Mitchell. They'll fake to Hargrave and throw up the sideline intended for Wooldridge.
Well, that was
a little bit too long.
River Hom right there.
Oh, I guess I should use my binoculars. Number 22 there
like a wando.
On the coverage, Deuce Prather. 2nd down. Is Deuce like what they call kids that are a junior now? Like they call kids that are the 3rd Trey sometimes? Because I've seen a lot of names of Deuce lately.
I'm not up to date. I haven't updated my app on that one.
Wooldridge on the end around. Able to get the corner, but not much there as he's flung out of bounds about a yard shy of the original line of scrimmage.
He kind of came slow rolling on that handoff right there. I like to think that if he was hitting that thing a million miles an hour, no one's going to stop him.
Yeah. Good penetration there by the Rouse defense. It's now 3rd and about 12 yards. The Lions need to get down to the 21. The ball at the 33. 3:30 and counting here in the 3rd quarter. E.J. Hargrave, the running back, in the backfield with Mitchell. 3 receivers here on the wide side of the formation. Mitchell rolls to his left, and he is sacked by number 96 or 95, Braden Eberwine. And that is a significant loss, and it'll bring out the punting unit for Leander as the line of scrimmage now at the Rouse 44-yard line. So Rodriguez will come in and see if he can pin the Raiders back, although that really hasn't been a deterrent for their offense to move the football tonight. Back deep to receive the kick, Leland Smith, number 4. Had the opening touchdown. The Raiders really haven't looked back since that moment. Rodriguez's kick. It's going to hit about the 15. It's going to take a line roll inside the 5 down to about the
That's a good kick right
1
there.
yard line. It just sits there on the 1. You can't really ask for much better than that. So the Lions, I mean, if you're going to stop Rouse, even the way they produce tonight, you're gonna put them on the 1 and hope that you can do it, right?
It would be good to see a safety right here.
If they make it 99 yards for a score, you got to credit Rouse. Unfortunately, you have to credit Rouse. 2:17 left here in the 3rd. Reyes, the running back, beside the quarterback, London Morgan, who's had a pretty good game for Rouse tonight. They'll hand to Reyes. He'll carry a few tacklers up to about the 6-yard line, make it the 7. So it is going to be 2nd and about 4. Gain of 6 for Reyes.
The kid don't look so big, but he got some strong legs on him.
Yeah, and he's got a pretty good offensive line in front of him, and it makes a big difference. If you can get ahead of steamrolling, even if you're a small guy, you can get some progress. So he'll stay in. Reyes will. They'll hand to him again. He can get real skinny through those holes because that wasn't a very big hole, but he picks up about 4 or 5 yards for a first down all the way up to the 14, about 13 and a half. They just give him enough of a crease, and he as they say, gets skinny and gets through that crease, and once he gets past the line of scrimmage, the Lions are chasing him at that point. Reyes will remain the running back for Morgan. They'll hand to him again as they continue to try to burn clock. He squirts out into the open over the 30-yard line to about the 34-yard line. Another first down for Rouse. And so, like we said, it's one thing to down them at the 1, but you also have to stop them. And the Lions have yet to do that tonight. New running back in is number 19 for Rouse. That's Auburn Davis. He's a tall, lanky running back. They're going to hand to him straight ahead. Oh, no, it's number 10. I take that back. That's Bryce Johns. And he got about a yard to the 35 on that carry. 2nd down. And the 3rd quarter is winding down. We're about 30 seconds left here in the quarter as Rouse is doing all they can to eat as much clock up as possible to minimize the opportunities for the Lions to come back. Johns again straight ahead. He kind of gets skinny and picks up a first down. He's going to be brought down by number 25 of Leander, Liam Walters. But the ball now at the 45, 1st and 10. About 10 seconds left here in the 3rd, and it looks like Rouse is going to let that clock wind down and flip the field, and we'll start the 4th period here momentarily. We'll turn it over to Ben and get some updates on some scores in football, baseball, basketball, whatever you guys do.
Yeah, it looks like we got back again with the Battle of the Lakes. West, it looks like Lake Westlake is beating Lake Travis 21-16 in the fourth quarter. And we
Yeah,
got
real quick before you get the next game, Coach Tony Salazar, the head coach at Westlake, was the defensive coordinator at Leander before he went over to Westlake.
Oh, wow.
Go ahead.
And yeah, it looks like A&M Consolidate versus Cedar Creek 79-0 in the fourth quarter.
Call off the
A&M.
dogs, man.
I know. Then we got Chaparral and Eastview. Chaparral's leading 33-28 in the third quarter.
Looking for their first district win.
Yeah. And then Vandegrift and Hutto 31-6 Vandegrift in fourth quarter.
And it also looks like Lake Belton in the fourth ahead of Cedar Park, 28-21. So good for Lake Belton, I guess. They're trying to work their way into one of the top two slots. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it'll be a log jam after tonight. There'll be bunches in the first place slot and bunches in the third place spot. 1st and 10 coming out of the quarter to start the fourth. Handoff goes to the running back, number 10. He bounces outside, Johns, but there's not a whole lot there as he keeps plugging away, but a whole pride of lines in there on the stop, and a late flag comes in. I hope that's not against the lines. You know, sometimes in those piles somebody might kick their leg and that'll get you. We have an injury timeout again. Been a battle out there tonight. And so we'll have to wait to see what that penalty flag is here. Any update on the Major League World Series? It is still 2-1, top of the 8th inning. Yankees on top of the Dodgers in game 1. October baseball. Stars look like they're winning. Yeah, there's 5:38 remaining. It is a 6-1 score for the Stars. It looks like they'll probably win. Sitting at 3-1, playing the 0-5 Iowa Wild, but I guess Iowa is going to be looking for a new goalie here before too long. You don't give up 6 goals in a hockey game and get to keep your job. That's
2 hat tricks. Right
yeah,
there.
that's not good. So the penalty is assessed against Leander. So
No, I think it
Rouse.
was on Rouse.
No, they flipped the
Oh, they
field
flipped it?
at the end of the third, so they marked it off against Leander. I didn't see a signal from the white hat, but Rouse will have the football on the 39 of Leander with a 17-point
It
lead.
was the helmet-to-helmet. Number 9 decided to go in there, do a little spear diving.
Oh, did they toss him?
No, I don't think they toss on.
Okay, because you can
Not familiar with the.
you can get thrown out for targeting, and you have to sit out the first half of the next game.
Oh wow! Yeah.
Pistol formation for the Raiders. Morgan takes the snap, fakes the handoff, hits the bubble screen.
He was surprised to get that.
Yeah,
one.
he didn't even know the football was coming to him. That was Smith there, and he gets lit up pretty good. It looked like, who was that, number 44 for the Lions? I didn't really see, but might have been Virgil Garcia. Might have been Calvin Kessler. It was Garcia. 2nd down and 8 for Rouse. Lions are going to get caught off sides here. Free play for the Raiders. They'll throw it up the seam and incomplete, intended for Leland Smith. But they, with a hard count, drew a couple of lines into the neutral zone, were able to snap the football with them there. So that essentially is a free play. That'll move the line of scrimmage from the 37 to the 32. It'll be 2nd and 3 for the Raiders from there. And that is the call kind of hard. You know, the only option there would have been that an offensive lineman moved to draw them offsides, but I didn't see that. Looks like Reyes is back in the game. Pass complete in the flat to number 3. He spins his way forward for a first down, but he gets out of bounds. That'll stop the clock for the Lions. That was Noah Fabila, but it'll be another first down for Rouse. 10:58 remaining in the ball game. Running back number 10, Bryce Johns, with London Morgan in the backfield, and a tight set of receivers on the right side of the formation for the Raiders, and a single receiver in Fabila here. And they'll send a man in motion, and they'll hand it to Johns, and he'll lower his shoulder and pick up about 5 yards, maybe 6 yards to the 16-yard line where it's second down. And that's really what they want to do as the Raiders. They want to get positive yards on the ground and keep the ball and the clock moving. The Lions got to get a stop here. Need a turnover. Johns the running back beside Morgan. They'll hand to Johns. He'll bounce outside. He's at the 10-5. He's going to get dragged down around the 3-yard line by number 25 of the Lions, Liam Walters. It'll be a first and goal for the Raiders. And a touchdown here really kind of seals the deal for the night, unless there's some kind of miracle over the last 10 minutes of the ball game. I mean, there's still plenty of football to be played, but the Lions have yet to really stop Rouse. The only thing that stopped them is the clock. Under center is Morgan in an I formation. They're going to hand to Johns off right guard, and he's going to find his way into the end zone to make the score 37-14 with 9:53 remaining. The Lions got to have an answer at least in terms of having some pride out here tonight.
Yeah, that's tough to watch right there because you've seen Leander's defense. They're way better than that, what they're showing tonight.
Yeah, you got to give a little bit of credit to Rouse, too, as much as I don't want to. Yeah.
Don't make me.
They have played well.
Yeah. No, they've shown that they can move the ball as they please.
Connor Lyons with a point after to make the score 38-14. I want to shout out our sponsors here in the second half. Gold sponsors are Bear Electric, LLC, and Mercy Veterinary Hospital. The silver sponsors are Bill Miller's Barbecue, RDZ Roofing, and Raising Canes. The bronze sponsors are Golden Chick, Toyota of Cedar Park, Texas State Optical Cedar Park, Whitestone Fine Jewelry, Sisk Rob Incorporated, and JT Reisdorf at State Farm. The Lion Pride sponsors are A-Plus Septic Cleaning and Repairs, Grissom Insurance Group, and Black Rock Coffee. The Roll Pride sponsors are MLD Services, Modern Shade, and Milo Aquatics. Thank you, sponsors. And don't forget, we have a podcast on Wednesday at Trunk or Treat at Leander High School, so make sure you come out. Lake Belton wins over Cedar Park 28-21.
It kind of helps the situation. I know we lost to Lake Belton, but we kind of get a coin flip situation going on here.
Well, the more losses teams suffer at this point, the better off the Lions are. But they have to continue to win, and it's, tonight's going to be a tough one to pull out. Montgomery, 25-30, and he'll carry up to about the 32 on the kick return. 9:47 on the clock. The Lion offense will come out and see if they can put some points on the board. They have yet to score here in the second half. It's been all Rouse Raiders since kickoff. The Lions had a couple of answers early in the first quarter, but since the second quarter, it's been pretty much the Rouse offense having their way tonight.
Well, that'd be a good game next week for Lake Belton against Cedar Park. Not Lake Belton. Georgetown against Georgetown.
Yeah, that could be for first place in district if you think about it, because they both have the one loss. There's the fake run, and then Mitchell decides. Ball's on the ground. Looks like a line might have gotten it there, and it is one of the big fellas, number 70, alertly getting on the ball. Let's give him credit. Easton Brockman, good effort. Mitchell kind of faked like he was going to run, and then the pocket collapsed, and he tried to run, and ball just hit a defender and fell to the ground. Mitchell drops back on second down. Pass intended for Jaramillo. Incomplete coverage there by number 15, Reed Henson. And it is now third down and very long for the Lions. They need to get to the 42. The ball's at the 27, so they got to negotiate 15 yards on this play, really, unless you're going to go for it on fourth and give Rouse a short field if you don't convert. Long huddle for the Lions. The clock stalled after the incompletion at 9:14. Hargrave, the running back. No, check that. It was Morgan or Gordon. Almost a one-handed grab there by Wooldridge. He had to go way up. He got a hand on it, but he couldn't quite pull it in, and it is fourth down, and out comes the punting unit. And the way Rouse has been moving the football, you got to come up with something, or else they're going to eat up at least half of the clock that's left here at 9:09.
I mean, they're well over their half portion of this half of
Oh,
time.
yeah, they definitely have the time of possession advantage. Leland Smith back to receive the punt from Rene Rodriguez. We saw some pressure earlier. We saw a bad snap as well. So the punting team really not doing its job, but good snap there. Rodriguez with a decent punt. Rodriguez did put one down on the one. It just didn't make a difference. That one's going to be down by the Lions at the Rouse Raider 45 by number 4, Nick Parsons. So with 8:55 remaining, Rouse has the football again up 24. Do you have some updates for us?
Yeah, it looks like Georgetown and Glenn, 52-31 Georgetown in third quarter.
That's a lot of points in that game.
Yeah. Then Eastview and Chaparral, 35-33 Eastview in the fourth quarter.
Oh, wow. Go Chaparral. All right, back to it. Quarterback number 1, London Morgan. I'm going to hand off to the running back, and it's number 19 this time. That's Auburn Davis for a gain of about 3 yards to the 38. And the clock is moving with 8:40, and Rouse will most likely eat up as much play clock every play as they can. It's at 23 seconds. They're not really wasting that time, though, as they snap the ball. Almost loses the handle. Davis is dragged down by Kessler. Cleaned up there by Kessler, rather. The first guy that got a hand on him, one of the linebackers, number 4 for the Lions, Nick Parsons. So really no gain, maybe a yard on that play. It's going to be third down. And will this be the drive the Lion defense gets a stop? Rouse taking their time. Play clock at 13. Trying to get everybody in position. London Morgan brings a man in motion. That's Smith. He rolls that direction looking for Smith. He airs it up the right sideline. Good coverage there by the Lions' number 29, I believe. Louis Ruiz-Williams. So it will be fourth down. I checked that. That's number 20. Did I say 29? It was 25 on that coverage. Liam Walters. So the first punt for the Raiders tonight comes at 7:36 left in the game. Back deep is Zane Wooldridge. Semi-deep is Jake Bridwell. A little bit of pressure on the punter. The ball's going to bounce about the 25. Nobody there to really get it. And it'll be downed at the 24 by number 88 of the Raiders, and that is Sergio Perez. And so the Lions with 7:25 will need to come out and play for some pride here, play for footage. There's some guys that want to play college ball. The coaches in college just want to see what you do on a given play. They don't really look at the score that much when it comes to recruiting. So if you have an opportunity to get out here, make some plays, and try to rally your team, as well as get some good coverage for your own highlight reel, so you can try to play a little college ball. Getting a look there of the Lion huddle on the sideline. Coming into the game now will be Logan Mitchell.
I guess it could be 3 possessions, right?
Yeah.
Seen wilder
Yeah,
things
you have to
happen.
get two points each time. That pass intended for Mason Montgomery, a little bit behind him, so it'll fall incomplete, stopping the clock at 7:22, but it'll be 2nd down and 10 for the Lions. Ball still at the 25. Kamarian Gordon, the running back, beside Mitchell, 3 receivers at the top of the formation, the wide side. It's Jaramillo, Wooldridge, and Montgomery. And here on the near side is River Hom. Those are your skill guys. There's a snap, the fake to Gordon. Drops straight back as Mitchell. Passes complete to Wooldridge on a kind of a deep in at about the 37-yard line. Wasn't quite a slant, but it'll, like I said, a deep in, and it's a 1st down for the Lions. Clock moving at 7:10. Same personnel, same formation for Leander. They'll just move Gordon to the other side of Mitchell. Mitchell gives the blocking package to his offensive line, takes the snap, fakes to Gordon, looks down the seam, complete to Montgomery at the 45-40, and it'll be sandwiched there for a nice gain for the Lions at the 39. Good hands there by Mason Montgomery to snag that out of the air, make a decent run after the catch. Clock stops at 6:49 and is now moving as the chains are set. Gordon remains the running back. Mitchell rolls that way, flips it out to Gordon in the flat. He's at the 30. He'll have another Lion 1st down to about the 28. And you really see the Lions move the ball successfully tonight when they're able to do so at a brisk pace. And you have to make a good gain on 1st down in order to get there and play at a
catch that rhythm.
Or at least it's the strategy, and it's been very effective when they've been successful. Mitchell looking to pass to Wooldridge, and he kind of a little miscommunication between Wooldridge and him. Mitchell thought he was going to turn in on a little curl on the sideline, but Wooldridge thought he was going to the end zone, so the pass ends up behind him and almost intercepted, actually. Is number 12 out there at the corner. Jackson Cultis had an opportunity at that football but didn't come up with it. The clock stopped at 6:15 remaining. E.J. Hargrave now in the game for the Lions. Mitchell takes the snap, fakes to Hargrave, has a little bit of pressure, rolls to his left, decides to run. He's at the 25-20, and he'll step out of bounds after picking up a 1st down at the 16-yard line, rather. Got my numbers a little off there. 6:06 now is remaining in the game as Mitchell steps out of bounds. And, you at least want to get some points here, have something to look at on film that you can say, look, we can do this. These are the things we need to improve at, and these are the things we did well. But you got to do some things well, and they're doing that on this drive. And there is a penalty flag down that comes in late, and it's a substitution penalty against the Lions. So they had 12 men in the huddle and broke the huddle with that 12th man. You can't do that. And that's, a substitution rule, because if you bring in a different package of personnel offensively, you have to give the defense an opportunity to bring in some substitutes to match that. And when you break a huddle with 12 guys and that guy runs off the field, then you've kind of defeated the purpose of the other rules. So they'll get you every time for that. 2 running backs in the backfield for Logan Mitchell, 2 receivers here on the wide side of the formation. They're going to do a little reverse to Wooldridge. He throws a pass, and it's complete down inside the 5. That was a kind of a broken play. They brought Wooldridge in reverse. It was a pitch. It was behind him. He dropped it. He was able to pick it up and hit Garrett Pites on a deep cross-the-field route, and he caught it as he was going out of bounds at about the 3-yard line. First and goal from there.
That's a pretty good arm right there.
Yeah.
Might be good to see him as some Wildcat.
Well, it depends. You know, he's being recruited, at least I've heard he's being recruited by Oklahoma State. And, you know, old Gundy will do some crazy stuff. He'll put a guy that's a receiver at quarterback.
Gundy, he's a man. Come at him. He's a man.
He's 40.
Right.
He's probably 50-something now, but that's been a few years. And they're having a rough go at it. You know, speaking of Oklahoma State, they really thought when OU and Texas left the Big 12 they were going to run things, but
no, not so much.
No, they were in for a rude awakening, and they could use a little help from Zane Wooldridge.
Yeah, I think he's one of those guys that can.
He's a difference maker.
Yeah, it'd be good to see him on Saturdays because he's a talented kid.
Yeah, it'll be fun. I get to see some guys that I coached or that I know playing, you know, in college as well as the NFL. Deuce Vaughn went to Cedar Ridge. We played against him several times, and he's one of the running backs for the Cowboys. So
yeah, his dad was
yeah, he was a scouting director. Fumble on that handoff, and the line's able to get down on it. Looked like that might have been Casimir trying to get an opportunity in the backfield as he did last week in the loss. And he'll stay out there in the formation as the fullback. You figure he's got some power as an offensive lineman, so they got Jacob Wells in it at center in his place, and Mitchell will follow Wells for the score. With 5:19 remaining, the Lions push their total to 20 as they trail by 18 at the moment, and they're going to try to cut that to 17 here with a point after, or they're going to go for 2.
They go for 2 right
They
here.
should go for 2.
Go for 2.
And that looks
Onside
like they
kick.
are.
Score, go for 2 again. Next you know we're down by 8.
Right.
Simple as
and
that.
then it's a one-series game, but you got to get that onside or at least get a stop. And the Lions really haven't, you know, they had a couple. They had got one the last offensive series, and then they had gotten one in the first half. So
got all 3 timeouts left. I mean, let's see. I mean,
play clock is winding down, and the Lions will take or unless they called a timeout, they may have burned one of those timeouts. Yeah, they called timeout. So we'll get some score updates here from Ben while we wait to finish this game out. Ben, what do you have here locally?
Yeah, we got some final scores. Cedar Park and Lake Belton. Lake Belton beat them 28-21. Then we got A&M Consolidate and Cedar Creek. Final score was 86-6 A&M. And then in the fourth quarter, Vandegrift and Hutto 38-6 Vandegrift. And also in the fourth, Eastview and Chaparral 38-33 Eastview.
So old Vandegrift's kind of another LISD academic school, has really been on a roll since they lost 1 or 2 games early pre-district, but they've really been running through their district over the last several weeks. Really, them in Georgetown playing lights out since early losses in the season. One of those, Georgetown to the Lions. 5:19 remaining, 38-20 your score. 2 running backs here on the point after attempt. The Lions going for 2. Mitchell takes the snap, fakes the handoff, throws complete, and that'll make the score 22 for the Lions, 38 for the Raiders. The score now a 16-point, 2-possession difference, and that's why you went for 2, right? So you've got to get the football back, score again, and get 2, and then you're just 1 possession away.
So you're saying there's a chance.
Exactly. There's always a chance. It's just when that clock gets too far down. 5 minutes and 20 seconds is not much time in high school football. They don't have a 2-minute warning or a 2-minute timeout like they do in college in the NFL, but they do. They can run their 2-minute or 4-minute offense, throw some passes to the sideline. One of the benefits is every first down you get, the clock stops for them to set the chains. That means that you have to get on the line of scrimmage quickly because it does not take them very long to go on ahead and start that clock back up.
Let's see what Coach McClain has up his sleeve right here.
So Rodriguez looks like he's setting up here on the near hash. He was kind of aiming towards the Lions sideline. The Rouse Raiders are all bunched up around the middle, and they'll spread out here as Leander does. Leander's not going to mess around with, oh no, is our up back going to kick it? You know, we see some teams try to do that, try to fool you on who's going to actually kick the ball. It will be Rodriguez. He has had some successful onsides. He's going to get the bounce. It's in the air. The Lions have it at the 48. That's number 10, Isaac Montgomery, coming down with the football, and Leander has it in Rouse territory at the 48.
Came down with a rebound right there.
That is exactly what he was thinking. He was like, I do this all the time on the hardwood. But he did that was as good of an onside kick as you can get from your kicker. It rolled, and it took a big bounce. It caused a Rouse Raider to get a hand on it. It tipped it up in the air to Montgomery.
We got us a game now.
So the Lions still on the attack here. Gordon, the running back. There's a snap, fake to Gordon. Mitchell looks up the right sideline. It's Wooldridge, and that could be an interference call.
Man,
no flag. Yeah, that was a great pass by Mitchell. If he could have just put another yard or two on it, it would have been caught in stride. And that's one of the things about Wooldridge is he's so fast, he's hard to out-throw. He had to kind of go up and come back, and that defender got there right about the time of the football.
Oh, how sweet would have that been right there?
Yeah. Well, you want to try to get if you get a turnover in any way, even if it's an onside, you want to try to flip the field as quick as you can. Quick strike. Unsuccessful there, 2nd and 10. Mitchell rolls to his left, throws in the flat, complete. He did not get out of bounds. It looks like that was Jaramillo. They're going to give him a gain of a couple. Okay, they said it was incomplete. So that's probably better for Leander because the gain would have only been about 3 or 4 yards. But unfortunately, it's 3rd and 10, obviously 2-down territory. You want to try to get at least half of it. Pull play out here that you can throw down deep, and we'll see. They'll bring trips to the wide side of the formation. Mitchell looking over to the sideline. Play clock is at about 8, 6, 5, 4. They get the snap off. Mitchell, pump fake. Dodges a defender, decides to run, decides to throw, incomplete.
That should have been holding right there. But
yeah, there's all kinds of contact going on, but no call. That pass was to Wooldridge, but he had a defender on him. It is now 4th and 10, 4:57 on the game clock. But we know it won't start until the snap at least. But you got to get 10 yards here or else the ball is back in the hands of the Raiders, and the way they've been able to move the ball on the ground, it might be all they need to wind out tonight's game. Hargrave lines up in the backfield. Mitchell drops back. Pass down the seam, intended for Hargrave, and it just drops in there. It was a decent pass, but Hargrave, I don't think he saw it. It is now Raider football with 4:51 remaining at their own 48.
That's tough right there.
Yeah, that is. They had some chances. And really, that first down play was the best one that they had, and Wooldridge went up for it. I'll have to go back and look, but I really feel like that defender was a little bit early, but referees hanging on to their
Hey,
flags.
it's homecoming over here. What do you expect?
Well, and you know, I mean, I'm not saying individual referees are like this, but they tend to want to go home once it gets past 9:30. So they try not to extend games. And we do have a penalty flag here, and it's going to be an illegal shift, it looks like. So they're going to call a false start, rather.
Starting in the right direction. There you go. Come
On number 55 is Jaden Winslow. That'll put the line of scrimmage at the Rouse 43. They need to get to the line 42. Handoff straight ahead. Not much there. He'll get back a couple of yards from that penalty. It'll be second down, but what they care about is burning that clock. And that is Reyes, the running back on that carry. We're down to 4.5 minutes. The Lions have 2 timeouts.
Come on, we need a fumble. Somebody punch that ball out.
Play clock down to about 15 seconds. Reyes will remain the running back. There's twin receivers on both sides of the formation for Morgan. There's the snap. He fakes to the running back, throws up the seam. He has Smith.
Oh, yes.
And it hit him in the hands, and it looked like it went through his hands and bounced off his knee. That'll stop the clock with 4:01, and it'll make it third down and 13. And this is one of those, you expect the opponent to run the clock out, right? And then they try to catch you on a deep pass, and they had it.
They had him. He had 2 steps on the defender right there. So
and that's when you say, well, you're winning by 16. Well, stop trying to score on us, and we'll stop trying to score on you. That's what I used to tell
That was a
people.
nail in the coffin right there.
Yeah, it could have been, but fortunately for the Lions, it doesn't fall that way. 4:01 on the clock, a handoff straight ahead to Reyes.
Hold on, come on.
And
now.
they got him
There you
stopped
go.
shy of the line needed. He's going to get up to the line 46. It will be 4th down. And the Lions call timeout with 3:53 remaining here, hoping to get the football back into work with it. And still only down 2 possessions. So what do you have here for score-wise, Ben?
Yeah, it looks like we got another final score. Eastview and Chaparral, 38-33 Eastview. And then we got Georgetown versus Glenn, 66-37 in the 4th quarter, Georgetown. Then we got, looks like some baseball. Yankees and Dodgers tied at 2 in the 9th inning.
Oh, that's going extra innings. You know, one of the things I've heard Yankee fans complain about is not really having a closer. You get used to having a guy like Mariano Rivera over your fandom, and when you don't have a guy that's a stud like that, you got to figure it out, right? So
run some trick plays or something.
you got to get those outs, you know. And so out comes the punting unit for Rouse. Another stoppage for Leander. That's Grant Simmons, the junior, going to come out to punt.
Do you think they'd do a fake right here if you were the Rouse coach?
It's in that area that it wouldn't be a bad idea. I wouldn't be surprised if Coach Mann did that. Let me put it that way.
Yeah, I hear you on that. Nope.
That's a normal punt. Wooldridge tailing back to think about catching it. Instead, it rolls into the end zone. He was able to stop the coverage guy by pretending like he was about to catch it.
Misdirection right there, yeah.
It worked because it allowed it to go into the end zone, which will put the football at the 25 for the Lions.
See if Ward's legs are rested. Throw another seam real quick. Because I don't think anyone can hold him down there right now. 4th quarter.
Well, you can't really afford to run the football. No. You know, and you got to try to stay on the sidelines at the very least if you can stop the clock by getting those passes out of bounds. Kind of limits what you can do. If you're going to throw in the middle of the field, you got to be over 10 yards so you at least get that stoppage to reset the chains.
We got 1 timeout left, So
Kamarian Gordon to the left of Mitchell. There's the snap. Mitchell rolls that direction, flips it into the flat. It hits number 12, I think that is, who drops the football. No, that's not 12. Who was that? 16. Dominic Jaramillo.
He's
He's a
usually
little
good for that.
Yeah, he's a little upset with himself. He thought that he should have had that, and I kind of agree. He's made that catch pretty regularly. So who knows? Sometimes, like I said, Mitchell's a pitcher. He's got some good heat in baseball when he good fastball, in other words, and sometimes that translates to difficult hard passes. That one intended for Mason Montgomery, a little bit out in front of him, a little tall. It'll fall incomplete, stopping the clock at 3:34, 3rd and 10. Out on the coverage for Rouse is going to be number 21, Jawan Ivey.
Yeah, I mean, he's got plenty of time in the pocket. It'd be nice to see him sit there a little bit and kind of just.
Yeah, it's this sense of urgency. Yeah. Sometimes it can, you have to control. It has to be controlled urgency. Mitchell decides to run straight ahead, and they had a spy waiting on him, and that's number 68 there with the sack, Hunter Simpson. He kind of gets up hard off the quarterback, Mitchell, and it is now 4th down. Clock moving at 3:14. The Lions do have one timeout remaining. They have to get to the 30. Ball now at the 18-yard line. There's a snap. Mitchell, plenty of time. He has flushed out. He's going to be sacked. Number 92, Tyler Miller, able to get off of his block and make a sack of the Lion quarterback, and that'll give the football to Rouse on the 14-yard line with just under 3 minutes remaining in the ball game, 2:54 to be exact. So what do you do here as an offense? You just run the football until you score, right? I mean, you have a short field.
That's it right there.
So you want to use as much clock as possible, but you also want to come out of this with points, because if they even get a field goal here, it's no longer a 2-possession game.
Don't be surprised to see a quick throw either.
So number 1, London Morgan, the quarterback, takes the snap, hands off to Reyes. He carries off right tackle and spins inside the 10 to about the 8. Gain of about 7.
That kid's averaging about 5 yards a carry right now.
Yeah, he's had a good night. They really have run the football well against the Lions tonight. Back to the drawing board on the defense for sure. But even the offense, you got to give credit to Rouse all the way around. The Lions had some plays, had some opportunities that didn't fall their way. Not that dissimilar from the Lake Belton game, except for the Rouse offense has been much more successful than just about any team we played except for Georgetown. There's a handoff straight ahead to Reyes. He gets it inside the 5 to the 3 where it's 1st and goal. That'll stop the clock at 2:04 for enough time to reset the box, and for the referee does wind the clock. There's 30 seconds on the play clock, so they don't even have to snap it until about 1:28 or 1:30. And they also have 2 timeouts.
Feel free to use one of them.
Yeah, I think they're getting into a tight formation here. Kind of the victory formation is it looks like they're going to take a knee, and they do on 1st and goal. And that'll move the line of scrimmage back to the 5-yard line. The clock at 1:22, still moving.
It's tough to see this outcome because we've seen this Leander team. I mean,
yeah,
be explosive offensively. But it seems like they had an answer to everything we shot at them today.
Well, it's usually a football season is usually a roller coaster ride. I mean, rarely are you undefeated throughout your season. You have ups and downs within quarters, and ups and downs within games, and ups and downs over the course of the season. And the Lions have kind of been in a little bit of a valley over the last 2 games, and they're really last 3 if you count that Chaparral game, and they left 17 points on the field, even though they came out with a win. And so they're going to have to figure it out. Next week is Cedar Park.
That's a big game right
there. And
they
after
just
that
took a loss.
is Eastview. Yeah, they're not going to – and maybe they took that loss because they were looking past Lake Belton to Leander and not giving Lake Belton its appropriate due. And down to 20 seconds, and this will be the final play.
There's a lot of moving parts right now in this district. We'll see who's going to settle, where they're going to settle.
Yeah, and that'll be the ball game as we're down to about 10 seconds, and Rouse and the Lions will meet at midfield and shake hands. And so just remember that we have the podcast. We already showed you the graphic for it on Wednesday night at Trunk or Treat, and then after that we'll be at AC Bible to bring you the Lions versus the Cedar Park Timberwolves, and it really is going to be a difference as to who is going to really have a chance at the playoffs, because now Cedar Park 1 loss, the Lions 2. If the Lions can get a win over Cedar Park, they'll have the tiebreaker. If they don't, they're basically a game and a half out of Cedar Park's standing in the district. So for Frank Rodriguez, Juan, and Ben Alanese, thank you, Nick Varell, for giving us some field camera, and Peter Casimir, thanks for listening to Lion Football. We will see you on Wednesday. Good night.
Go Lions.
Roll Pride.